So we've had the luxury over a period of time of talking about games and really getting to the heart and center of what motivates these companies to do some of the things that they do that we don't like, that we do like, whatever the case may be. And then I think more importantly, we've been able to tap into these different communities and get you to see some of their agendas and some of the things that they're trying to do that maybe don't correlate with what you're looking for in gaming. I think that's been a staple of this platform, and I think that we've been successful in doing that because of the assistance that you've given us. So to try to further extend on that, what we've done is we've gone to our most staunchest supporters and we said, look, we want to reward you, but we want to do it even further in that same vein. So now we have a series for our members where we are going to sit down and talk to some movers and shakers in the gaming community and give you their perspective of what's going on beyond what we think. And I think you're going to enjoy this content. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming back again with a special video. Before we get into this one, do us a huge favor, that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about two big interviews that we've done via new content that we've created that you may not be aware of, but I'm telling you, you're going to want to indulge in. We have started a new series called Lobby Talk. That's where I sit and talk with some of the biggest community members on our side of gaming that you guys know of. We had two great sessions already. One with King Thrash. He jump started everything off. And then our second episode was with Porter Rock. And they were fantastic episodes. And it doesn't stop there. I mean, we got people like Next Gen 720, Doc Dark, Mags, a variety of different people that we're looking to bring here on this platform so you get their perspective on gaming beyond us babbling all the time. And I am proud to say that this Sunday coming up, we have Tim Dog. Yes, Tim Dog himself will be here. I believe 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned for the exact time, but he will be here. He will be our next guest on Lobby Talk. All right. If you are pondering if Lobby Talk is even worth the time and effort, what I want to do is play for you two snippets from our previous interviews with Porter Rock and King Thrash to let you know we step back, we let them divulge the information, and man, oh man, oh man, do you get some serious insight on some stuff. So first, let's start with King Thrash. In order for us to do that, we have to do this. Let me show you that. And in order for us to do so, I want to play this clip where King Thrash is talking about he's going over game reviews. And in particular, when it comes to game reviews, he's talking about how people score this stuff and how when this stuff is scored, it may not be in your best interest. They have their own agenda to serve, and how, you know what I'm saying, gamers themselves have to rely on their own intuition. So let's listen to that just to give you a snippet of what we're talking about here on Lobby Talk. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? They won't have to pay for it, but they won't get it as early.
They won't be able to get it early. Yeah.
That's the only bad point of that. But I hate that system anyway. I hate the review system anyway, because if you give them a bad review, you'll get blacklisted. And that's from all these companies. That's from Sony, that's from Xbox, that's from Nintendo, or maybe it's Nintendo, I don't know, but Microsoft and Xbox and Sony and PlayStation for sure. And I don't think that's right. I don't think anybody should get blacklisted for saying that your game was trash if they found it trash. But as long as they found it trash fairly. And I think that's the problem with the review system that we have today. It's more based on opinion than it is fact. Yeah. And you're supposed to have some opinion in there. Don't get me wrong. But you should be basing it on the facts of the actual game. You know what I'm saying? And I seen that back when that one chick reviewed Days Gone and said that she didn't like the fact that he was hitting on his own wife and gave it a little short.
That was another one
bro.
I got. Yeah, that was. Days Gone. A lot of people did not give that a shot. Now, credit to Cold Blood. I get that the game early on had some bugs, but well after that, like that is a hidden gem. I like Days Gone. I didn't realize it was that good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro. Good systems, good everything, bro. Like good way of building it. Good story. It's a good game, bro.
It got a little bit of Far Cry, a little bit of Uncharted. It's like a mixture, and I didn't realize it was that good. A good mixture of stuff too.
Yeah, good deep mixture. Like, you know, a lot of zombies on the screen. You have to manage how you're going to take care of that as one person.
Yep.
It was just fantastic, and she ignored all of that shit because she was jealous that ones and zeros that made up a man hit on ones and zeros that made up a woman. You know what I'm saying? It just bothered me to no end. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's for GameSpot. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And it's just like, motherfucker. Like, that's when I knew that there was guaranteed a gigantic issue with the system.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. This bitch got her feelings over a goddamn cartoon woman. Yeah. And a man who liked his wife's ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She didn't complain about the black dude who had a ring somehow, like acting like she wasn't fucking her. I know he was fucking. Ain't no way, nigga. I couldn't have been Deacon. I would have killed that nigga on the spot. You got my wife's ring on, my nigga. I gave her that ring, nigga. A buck, bow. Shot the, and you black too. Yeah. Oh, he was dicking her down. Bow, bow, bow. Like it would have been over for her. But nobody, no mention of that. She was mad that he hit on his own. Clearly she needs some sex in her life, dog, or something. But it just shows just how much opinion affected that score over the actual game, dog. And that was a travesty, man.
Hey, bro. I was just telling Cold Blood, because I don't know, a lot of people know this, but you know when all the journalism started, it from what I saw, you know when it started going downhill? With Game Informer. That's why when Game Informer closed down, I didn't cry. Because here's why. The old senior editor of Game Informer, Andy McNamara, he's over at EA right now. I remember when him and the guy before him took over, and Game Informer was so bad, like as far as facts were concerned, it wasn't their score, it was the facts. Like you said, like it's not about your opinion, but if you sit there and say shit is happening in a game that ain't happening and you base your score on it, then that's wrong. And Game Informer was notorious for that. They would always get letters, like you would see the editorial section and they were addressing something every episode. You know what I'm saying? That they had factually got wrong. So people look at, and at the time, Game Informer was the #1 gaming magazine. So people look at them and say, well, shit, if they can get away with not being accurate, well, the rest of us can, and we can make up shit. And it's been downhill ever since then. You know what I mean?
They're looking at it like, damn, they're making money while being inaccurate. They're not even working on it.
It's like these soul content creators, like you had pointed out in one of your rebuttal videos, somebody was lying on you and saying something that you didn't say. But that's the new thing now because it's making money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
all that fake controversy and all that shit and lying on people because it's juicy. Yeah, exactly. People like the juices, dog. They like the little drama juices more than anything.
Like dripping down their chin and neck and shit. They like that shit.
Yeah. They like that shit. Don't even wipe it up.
Oh man. Cold Blood is in the chat. He said, just like Phil thought that he gets double-digit scores higher for Redfall than he did.
Exactly. But you know what that is? That's not even Phil. You know what that is? That's people scared of Phil. That's what that is. Tell me I'm off, bro. That's not Phil. That's people who are scared of Phil, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. That's exactly what that is, bro. Because there's no way that game scored. They thought that game scored that high.
Everybody,
but they had to say that. Yeah, they didn't want to get in trouble. They didn't want to get fired. They didn't want to get, that's what's so bad about having a gaming company that's ran by a company that don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? Because that company's going to go hard. Like, why ain't you making money, Phil? The fuck going on, Phil? We need you to come out these games, Phil. And they don't even really understand the process of gaming. Phil barely understand it. So if you go and tell a man that's already getting yelled at and shit by his bosses, you go and tell this nigga, this shit look like it's gonna be a 50, bro. Like it's gonna be a problem, bro. Like it's gonna be an issue. So yeah, dog.
So there you have it, my friends. That was our interview with Thrash, right? Thrash gave a lot of great pointers and looks at different things. that he saw with the game score review, and the interview goes way deeper than that. Like, trust me, we got a lot of time with Thrash, and he's working on a project which is very interesting, and he talks about this project for the first time with us. So you definitely want to check out that interview. But another interview that you guys are going to want to check out is the interview that we had with Porter Rock. I mean, Porter Rock and I have a long history, just like Thrash, but me and Porter Rock actually battled. We actually had like a friendly adversarial, get together, you know what I'm saying? Because he was pro PlayStation, I was pro Xbox and all this other stuff, right? And we were reminiscing on that. But more importantly, I think this is one of the critical points, just one of them, of the conversation that we had with Porter Rock, where because he's a longtime creator, right? I wanted to get his thoughts on the tactics that certain creators are using now. Like, that's relevant to what's going on now. We kind of discussed that with some creators just saying things that are just not true, but just tapping into people's emotions. I want you to hear what Porter Rock's take is on this, because it also is very interesting. Here he goes.
But now the grift and the formula to grift.
Mm-hmm.
And the grift formula is you have to what's the best way to, you have to placate to the audience now. You have to make them feel good. It's the algorithm is feelings now, not knowledge.
Yep.
It's feelings.
Yep.
If you really want to make it, is how do you make your audience feel? Well, let's be honest. The ones who are looking for feelings the most is the Xbox users, not PlayStation. Right? The reason why, the algorithm, in this community benefits those who talk shit to PlayStation and you make Xbox feel good, because you're punching up. It's like a comedian that punches up, they're funny. But comedians that punch down, meaning talk shit about people, it's not funny. No one wants to hear you make fun of bums and underprivileged people. Make fun of the rich people. Make fun of the people who are successful. That's funny. Punch up.
Yep.
Right? When you talk about Xbox, you're punching down. Yeah. Even the PlayStation guys, some of them are cool with it, whatever, but the masses don't really care. Do we really care that you're talking shit about Xbox, whatever. But the reverse, talking shit about PlayStation and protecting Xbox, there's a lot of people there, because most people know Xbox is having a bad gen. So they gotta get something good out of this.
Yeah.
So if it's a podcast, hearing other people talk positive, you'll be surprised how that goes a long way. That's just internet in general. There's a lot of people that they're subscribed to podcasts, they're subscribed to content creators. Look at that show. What is it? Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
That is the most incel shit I ever heard in my fucking life. I'm like, did these dudes ever date a woman?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, fuck. This is the worst advice ever. I've been with my wife for 22 years.
Yeah.
None of this stuff would keep us
married and shit. Yeah.
God, there's millions of people that relate to that bad information because maybe they haven't gotten a girl, maybe they're low, whatever. So sometimes it's just good to hear another man or another person that understands
that you feel like you can relate to. Yep. Exactly.
You can relate to. And that's what even if it's fake, but it just feels right for some people. Yeah. That's the Xbox community.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Xbox is dog shit. No one's buying that. Come on, wake up and smell the roses. Stop playing. Some people just want to escape from that. They don't want to be surrounded in that negativity. Every other day, Xbox -47. No games. Hell, what was it, last month? And it was from me, but then everybody took the idea from me or the author. Every single game is on PlayStation, but not every single game. Remember that? Yeah, right?
I owe you royalties too. I'll send you a check.
Yeah. And then the other new shit, right? That I brought up, I should get royalties. But when you're an Xbox dude, that's all you see, and they're facts.
Yeah.
But that shit gets old. So when you see a podcast, even if it's fake or maybe or possibility, you hear good shit, man. For them, that's refreshing. Yeah. Right. And for the few people that will say, nah, PlayStation's dog shit, in a world where everybody's saying PlayStation's the best, you got the one dude that say, nah, PlayStation's dog shit. They'd be like, you know what? Finally, I could listen to somebody that agrees with me in a world where everybody says I'm wrong.
Subconsciously, that makes them think, oh, the rest of them are sheep, and that makes me the smart one because I don't, I don't think like the sheep. When it's in actuality, you just don't relate to reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Fucking agrees with you. Like Xboxes, they thrown everything but the kitchen sink, and they're doing worse than they were last gen. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yo, it's crazy, right? And I see it all the time. Oh, people buy PlayStation because it's just popular.
Yeah.
Well, why is it popular?
Yeah.
Why? Because it got games.
Oh, I didn't think that
like,
far. I'll be back.
It got games. It's popular.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. Bro.
Shout out to Jonathan in the chat with the $5. He's trolling. He said Xbox Series S saved gaming. Hashtag fresh and thick. Get your ass out of here,
fresh and thick. Oh, she said fresh and thick. Oh shit. Can I get a Lockhart, please? Oh, when them dudes scored, they thought Xbox Series S was Black Jesus. They thought that shit was the second coming of Christ.
They were
little Timmys in the world finally could play next gen games day one. Portable. I'm like, oh man, these dudes don't get it, man.
I was telling
games?
People, P,
I was like launching.
I was like, the Series S is not gonna. I had to channel my inner Porter Rock. I said, it's gonna get worse. No, it's gonna be 1440p and gamers are gonna love it. I said, why? What is 1440? And I said, do you guys really think? I said, Xbox has not been able to execute on anything since 2013. And I'm not over exaggerating. They couldn't execute on anything since 2013. What really makes you think they're going to come out with two different SKUs? One SKU in the Lockhart, which developers are already saying is bottleneck. Because remember, they were saying this shit before launch. And they're actually going to execute on it, and it's going to outperform PlayStation. And their answer was 1440p. Like, I said, casuals don't even know what the fuck 1440p is. Like, what are you guys talking about? But they ran with it.
And I got when they were saying, oh, it's 1440p because it's just a weaker GPU. But then we saw the specs of the memory. I'm like, stop. Like, bro, that's a whole different, like, you got less memory?
Yeah.
That's a lot more than just resolution now. Now we're not talking resolution. We're talking effects. It's going to be, it's literally two different consoles at this point now. Now you just got two different consoles at the same time with the name Xbox. Like, oh, this ain't gonna be, right? And then I was like, what's up with the launch? Oh, res boost for backwards games. I'm like, bro, we really talking about this? You think people really care about backwards compatibility at launch?
Yeah.
For res boost? You think that's what's gonna sell these consoles? Yeah. Like, bro, when the games came out, they didn't even sell the Xbox. You think regurgitating them, repackaging them with res boost?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Where are the new games?
And quick resume. What the fuck are you? Wouldn't you quick resume into?
What are you quick resuming? Quick resume would require games.
Yeah.
What games?
To the fucking Falconer, bro. Like, what are we doing?
This shit is crazy. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
That's what. So there you have it, folks. That's even more banter between P and I. There's a lot more that we talk about on the podcast. And like I said, we have even more people that are going to be coming to the show that we're going to be talking to about their belief in video games. And trust me, this is not designed to be just a bash affair on one piece of plastic versus another. All of these people that I talk to, I feel like there's something that either I or either you as the listening public that come here and support this platform, y'all have something in common. So we talk about those commonalities, and then there's oftentimes where I just sit back and I just let them go and I let them give their perspective. Because I could go and say, oh no, not about this, it's not about that. But we're bringing these people here for you to get their perspective on the things that we talk about daily. And again, like I said, we're breaking it here now. Tim Dog is joining us on Sunday. He is going to be the interviewee for episode 3. You're definitely not going to want to miss that. Even Porter Rock, when I informed him at the end of the show, and you'll hear it in the Porter Rock interview, he himself said, yeah, that Tim Dog interview is going to be a big deal. So there you have it, folks. Our new show, Lobby Talk, is exclusively for our members. It's a special thank you to our members. If you want to opine, if you're like, hey, this is something that I'm really interested in, and let me become part of this member family, hit that join button. Join us at the we call it the Foamy Homie level. Foamy Homie or above will give you access to these interviews. We will see you again. Enjoy the show if you're watching this as part of Intero Podcast 71. We got a great show for you. If you're watching this a la carte, definitely look at the card to your left for that podcast. The card to the right is going to take you to the playlist for these member shows. With that said, we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace. Yo, what is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? That was a little different, huh? What's going on, people? It's your boy MM2K back again from Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming, and I'm back here with Cold Blood Sensei. Cold Blood, how you doing today, man? We got to change it. I still instead of changing that, I deleted you. I gotta add you back. What's going on, Cold Blood? How you doing, brother?
Great, bro.
Oh man, so yes, we did it a little different today, man. We normally we play our spill video that we're playing later in the day before NRO podcast, but today we did it differently. We created a special video that gave you guys a sneak peek at the interviews that we've already done with King Thrash and that we've done with Porter Rock. And those are our members video series interviews labeled Lobby Talk. Lobby Talk, again, is for our members. A special thank you because our members went nuts last month. I mean, they went up like 300%. And so Cold Blood was talking to me and he's like, bro, we got to do something for the members, man. We can't be slouching here. And I totally agree. So we put together Early Bird Special. And then the other part, something we've been working on for a while, though, to try to get these personalities on the platform, is that we've always wanted to do these special interviews. And man, oh man, did they deliver? The first two were King Thrash. The second one was Porter Rock. And then the third one, I mean, we're not stopping. The third one is this Sunday, and it is the homie Tim Dog. All right. And if you were listening to that Spaces from Tim Dog yesterday, you know he has a lot to say. So he's going to be here Sunday. We're going to be interviewing him. It's going to be a crazy one as well. You can get access to him if you're not a member, because we're doing this as a thank you to our members. So it's not about us trying to beat people for money, because here's what we did to say thank you to our members because of the crazy job that they did last month. We actually created a new tier that is going to be cheaper for our members. If you get gifted a member, there's nothing we can do about gifted memberships. YouTube already has that unlocked. So in order to gift a membership, you got to pay $4.99. I wish if I could change that, I would, but I can't. So if you gift a membership, you're gifting it at $4.99, and that's fine, right? Not a problem. But let's just say after you become a gifted member and you're like, I really like this content and I would want to stay on and support my own membership. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't have to pay the $4.99 anymore. All you have to do is pay $3.99 and you can sustain your membership and you can get access to all of the stuff, all of the content, like these interviews, Early Bird Special, certain gameplays, and then just chit chats that me and Cold Blood do at times when we have the time. We'll just sit back and just talk about a whole bunch of different shit, not even game related, right? To get access to all that, all you got to do now is pay $3.99 to sustain your own membership and get that. And on top of that, Cold Blood, for the great people that don't realize this, to that $3.99 tier, we added monthly giveaways for games. So if you're in the $3.99 tier, you get all the stuff that you get in the $4.99 tier as a gifted member. But then you also get access to monthly giveaways as a thank you. We're doing this as a thank you to those that sustain their own subscription, right? We're not trying to beat you over the head with a cash register. I don't know any platform or any other channel that's doing this. Normally they'll charge you more. We're charging you less to, in order to support if you decide to support your own membership. We're charging you less and giving you more. It's crazy, right? But again, we just want to, we're going to support those that are our staunchest supporters. I know some people feel some type of way about that. Oh, why isn't this public? We got to have something. Again, we're not idiotic. A lot of you guys and gals that listen to our content, you do like to hate watch. Like, we know we get a lot of you, True Virgil, J Gaming, not J Gaming, that sit in the background, shout out to them, that hate watch us, right? Sean exposes y'all when he does his gifted memberships, but y'all like to sit in the background and hate watch us. But we understand. I see the stats. Most of you guys come from Porter Rock, King Thresh. That's why we have them here, and a lot of you guys come from these other pro PlayStation or PlayStation eccentric podcasts. So just being a PlayStation gamer, you know the value of exclusive content, right? Right. So if you understand the value of exclusive content, then you understand why, if we have supporters that are doing things like giving us game codes and gifting games to us and to you guys in chat. Like, there's been plenty of times Sean and others have just thrown a game code in the chat. It's the way we think and the way we're wired. Those people, we got to give them a thank you for that. So we have exclusive content and exclusive things like that for those like that. And we don't try to break the bank with it. We don't try to break the bank. $3.99 or more will get you access to all the stuff. That's why we created a cheaper tier and we're giving you even more. So this is a special thank you to all of our members. We hope you guys appreciate it. And I'm doing the unprecedented thing of saying, if you're in the $4.99 tier and you're paying for your own membership, it's probably more sensible for you to drop down to the $3.99 tier. Why? Because it's cheaper and you get more. Leave the $4.99 tier for those that are gifted members. So again, the $1.99 tier is simply those that just want to, support with a couple of bucks a month and just, say thank you, and they'll be put on the ticker that you see scrolling at the bottom. That's for them. You know what I'm saying? But for those that want the extra content and the extra stuff, the extravagance things that come with it, right? Then all you need is $3.99, and you get entered into our giveaway. So because all that's automatic. So my suggestion is, if you want to give the extra $1 and you don't really care about the giveaway, whatever, fine. But if you want to be part of the monthly giveaway, definitely go down to the $3.99 tier. That's now called Foamy Homie. And if you notice, what was the $4.99 tier has been renamed to Gifted Foamy, right? So there you have it. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to this chat, because this chat is bumping. They already got us to 10 likes. That's all we asked for. Is Xbox failing, says Mandalorian Martin. And we got Hey Meg, is it okay if I announce? You let me know if I announce your slot. Is that right? Yes. Meg has a slot. Like I told you, we're not just gonna bash on one side or the other. We're gonna let people opine on where they come from, and I'll chime in where where you know what I'm saying, where I resonate with what they're saying. This is not a gotcha moment or we're talking, well, why is this, why that, well, I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for Cold Blood. But it's not one of those moments for me. Like Cold Blood, one of his pivotal questions to Porter Rock is he asked him if he was proud of his brother. That was funny. Oh, that was hilarious. But yeah, no, we're gonna bring people from all sides. You know what I'm saying? For them to talk. He said, "Go for it, brother." Okay, so we got the homie Mags. Y'all know this is my brother from another mother. I love Mags. He's been a supporter for the platform for a long time. We come at Xbox gaming from different views. I once was where Mags is. And I think Mags he's not where I'm at, but he's probably a little bit closer than he wants to be, that he's comfortable at, as far as like some things that Xbox does. But no, he's still very much is favorable towards the platform, and we want gamers of all ilk here. You know what I mean? I want to talk with Mags and get his perspective of everything. This is not a gotcha moment or what about this? What about? We're going to talk to Mags. Mags is going to give his perspective, positive, not positive, about any platform. We're just going to talk about gaming altogether. You guys seen the interviews. You saw what we did with Porter Rock. You saw what we did with King Thrash. You're going to get something similar with Tim Dog, but it's not about me. It's about the interviewee, right? So you're going to see that. And then me and Mags, we're going to have a lot to talk about and reminisce on too, because shit, man, I came in this game. And Porter Rock spoke to it too. I came in this game trying to quote unquote stomp the ponies out. One of the biggest things, and we didn't talk a lot about it, but one of the biggest things me and Porter Rock laugh about all the time now is me and Porter Rock, we were having a debate. We were throwing videos back and forth, right? And what I forgot I said this to Porter Rock. I said to him, I said, bro, I'm so far high up there, you just like a dog howling at the moon. And I made a whole video about it. I forgot about that. He was like, this dude is a poet. What the hell's going on here? So we was just laughing about that and shit. And I said, but P, when Z tried to set it up with me and you were going to debate, I was like, nah, I'm throwing rocks from afar. Yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, great stuff. We're reminiscing, and then me and Mags, we're going to talk a lot about things that we're going to look at. We're doing the interview from his perspective, but we're going to also talk about some things that are nostalgic to both of us. So I think it'll be a very interesting interview. We're trying to approach these interviews and give you something dynamic and different with each one. Yes, we had 2 pro PlayStation people. We got Tim, former pro Xbox guy, leaning, towards PlayStation. He's, a little disgruntled there about with Xbox, but Tim is a longtime friend too. So we're going to be talking about some things. And then Mag is coming next Thursday. We already got it slotted. Mags and I will be talking about all things gaming. So thank you, Mags. Appreciate you coming through, brother. He says, what's up, motherfuckers? Shout out to Mags. Who else we got here? We got MVBN FNFG. We got True Game Gaming says, yes, Xbox is failing. All right. So, Cold Blood. I've been rambling and bambling and jambling. We got our 11 likes. Thank y'all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed those sneak peeks. Again, if you want to hear the full interviews, whether they're videos or whether you want to hear them live, become a member and just become a member at the $3.99 tier. We're trying to leave the $4.99 tier for gifteds or those that just like, fuck it, I don't care. I'll give you an extra $1. I don't need to be in a raffle. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat. But yeah, just join at the $3.99 tier and opine and all these great conversations. Cold Blood, what's been up with you, brother, man? How's things been going? Have you been able to game or check out any gaming this week at all?
But I'm about to this weekend.
What you gonna be checking out?
Actually, probably Shin Megami Tensei.
Ah, yes, I did notice that. I didn't get a chance. I did this yesterday for something else another video I created, but I took a look at the Gamescom site and there was a couple of strategy JRPG games that looked interesting there. It was interesting to me, and because my argument was, why doesn't Jeff Keighley work with here we go. Let's do this. I was like, why doesn't Jeff Keighley work with GeForce Now? They scramble up a couple of servers for like 1,000 people, because this is the first time that they do it. And why don't we get devs to put some fucking vertical slices of games out there for people can play? And even if they want to charge like, a little fee or whatever, like a special access fee, I wouldn't care. But I got it up on the screen now. These are the games that are coming to Gamescom. And they got like cool little square outs of them and shit like that. And there was a couple here that interested me. Let me see here. That look cool. Damn it. I can't find them now. Oh shit. Now I don't see them. But it was like a JRPG up here. So I was like, oh, that looks awesome, man. I would love to play this shit. Instead of just clicking on a square block. But yeah, okay. Here's one that caught my eye. This is coming from Ocean Drive Studios. It's called Veil of the Witch. It's a strategy game, but I like the art design in it. I'm not the biggest on all strategy games. There are some that I love. A lot of them I don't like, but that one looked interesting. There was another one that caught my eye, but I can't find it. So yeah. Are you excited for Gamescom at all? Cold Blood? It kicks off on Tuesday, I guess. You excited for anything there?
I'm excited to see Forza on PlayStation.
Oh, damn, Cold Blood. Why you do that, man? Now, that is not fair. That is
It's
not fair.
No? I mean, these bots have been excited for Helldivers too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, oh, no,
On
damn.
Xbox.
He chose violence like a motherfucker today. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, there was another one that I saw. Yeah, but definitely check it out. Go to the gamescom.com website, and then you after the show, of course, and then check out these little blockettes that they have of different games and shit like that. They're pretty much showing you everything that's going to be there this year, so you can check it out. Okay, with that being said, let's see here. Couple more. All these games coming to PlayStation looking delicious. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it too, is that you might have some PC standoffs, which I think, console gamers would probably not be into anyway. But like all of these big titles, even if they're vaguely tantalizing, are coming to PlayStation. Like in any indie that has like some potential, being a potential breakout, opposite of Paul World, which, kudos to Microsoft, they struck a deal with them. But most of these indies that are interesting to console gamers that could potentially have breakthrough power, Yoshida's done a great job in snagging them up. I got to give him credit for that. All right, with that being said, let's get down to the show, y'all. We got a lot to cover. Cold Blood, let me know the order that you want to go in, because I know you have a lot to say about Wukong. So we can start off with Wukong, or we can start off in our normal order, which is Xbox, PlayStation, and then the game of the week. What is it that you want to do, brother?
Let's talk about Xbox.
Okay, okay, we'll start off with Xbox. All right. So let's kick it off with Xbox. Here's what we got happening here, my friends. Let me do one thing too while we're in here, because it would only make sense, right? While we're talking about Xbox, they have only Xbox games up here. So yeah, it's been a very interesting week for Xbox. There's been two main things happening. Thing number one is there's this big rumor about Forza Horizon 5 coming to PlayStation. A lot of people feel like it's all but been confirmed. I don't know. Until it gets mentioned, I don't know. I mean, yes, on that Gamescom thing, they got Forza Horizon 5 up there, which is interesting. So why else would it be there if this isn't true? There was supposedly that broken Amazon link or whatever, but we've had Tom Warren say it's not Forza. We don't know. We'll see. Right. But it's rumored to be coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. And in order to show you, and actually during our Porter Rock interview, this news broke. So if you want to hear what Porter Rock Porter Rock's live reaction. I mean, I'm talking like the first time he ever heard this. I know he's commented and he's maybe done a video beforehand. I mean, afterwards. But if you want to see Porter Rock's live reaction to this Forza Horizon rumor, then you definitely want to check out that interview, which you can at the member at one of the member tiers. All right, so Rithian, aka Lumberjack RY, and I know this guy has been known to, if this is the same guy according to the avatar, the guy's been known to spout a bunch of shit that doesn't even come to fruition. I know that, but he's not the only source on this. He was just one of the sources that was stating this, that Amazon UK accidentally early listed the Xbox Game Studios title Forza Horizon 5 by Playground Games for both PlayStation 4 and 5. It will land September 27th, right? So that's the initial story right there. And again, we were live talking to Porter Rock during his interview when Cold Blood dropped that news on us. So as we're looking at that, I'm just curious on what people think about that, right? Because some people say they don't care, but their response that's followed has been totally contradictory to you not caring. We're going to show you some examples.
Just make a poll first.
Oh, we should? Okay, all right. What should the poll be?
Do you fucking care or not?
Oh, okay.
Is this so hard, bro?
Do you care? Or do you think it's important? Do you think it's what's the word? Because nobody, I mean, people may not care, but they may think it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like they may not care because they don't give a fuck about Forza, but they may think like, oh shit, that's the sign. Do you think it's a big deal that Microsoft is Xbox puts Forza 5 on PlayStation? All right, so let's start the poll. The question is, do you think it's a big deal if Xbox puts Forza 5 on PlayStation? The impetus of that question is, you may not give a fuck about Forza 5, you may not ever play it, but it could be a big signal to you that, oh shit, yeah, the whole slate is coming. This or whatever, or oh yeah, they don't care about the console no more. You know what I mean? So that's the purpose of that question. All right, so let us know in the poll. On top of this whole reaction to Forza 5 possibly coming to PlayStation and PlayStation 5 and 4, we've had a breakdown in the community of sorts. Like I think the community is having a mental breakdown. Like, what are the 5? I want to see the 5 stages of denial. What are the 5? I want to see a graph of that. 5 stages of denial. Because the Xbox community, the 5 stages of grief. Okay. Can I?
Well, first is denial.
Excuse me. Yeah, and denial was paramount with the Xbox community. All right, here we go. So this is medium.com. I think you might have a lot of Xbox gamers sign up for this shit. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, I've been there. Yeah, the 5 stages of grief. Number 1 is denial. Avoidance, confusion, elation, shock, and fear. Stage 2 is anger. Stage 3 is bargaining. Stage 4 is depression, and stage 5 is acceptance. I think that the Xbox community, they're transitioning from stage 2 to stage 3. They're now bargaining. They went from coming into this community thinking that because Xbox said this, they look, bro, for those of you that don't realize this, this is not cap. This is just shows you, and even Porter Rock and even King Thresh said to the Xbox community that in their interviews, that's why you got to watch them. Even they said, look, we get why you guys were at a fever pitch last gen, because you guys had the blueprint last gen. Thresh said, shit, I had me a 360 before I had me a PlayStation. Porter Rock gave props to the 360. He said, I get it last gen. He said, but the feud became bigger than the product itself. The feud that you guys have with PlayStation became so big that you were not critiquing the product itself. Where they were saying these things that are happening today, they were evident. I've had to bend the knee and admit to Cold Blood. That's how me and Cold Blood got cool. Do you think me and Cold Blood is cool because this motherfucker was an Xbox? You know what I'm saying? Is that what y'all think? No. Cold Blood and I were cool because he used to show up in my streams and clown me every day, right? And me and him would go back and forth. But again, I don't mind people that have differences of opinion. I love engaging with people with differences of opinion. And he was funny as shit in the chat. So me and him got cool. You know what I'm saying? And that was like, 5-6 years ago. You know what I mean? And he's been supporting me even on, it got even worse with Stadia. You think it was bad with Xbox? It got even worse with Stadia. But I told the people at Stadia, leave him alone. Let him rock. Because if you can't handle differences of opinion, then you need to get the fuck off of social media. Right? So that's how long me and Cold Blood been rocking out. But we didn't become cool because Cold Blood was a former Xbox friend and me and him was like Thelma and Louise, you ready to go off the cliff together? No, that was the dynamic of our friendship. That being said, I've been there. Cold Blood was telling me back then, he's like, nah, bruh, they're going third party. Phil is giving up. Now, I didn't see it then because it just didn't make sense to me then because I was completely blinded by the nostalgia. So I understand where a lot of the pro Xbox people are coming from. I just feel that some are just ignoring things in totality a little too long. If you still like the Xbox brand, there's nothing wrong with it. Mag, my homie Will Sinks, he's another one we should do an interview with. A whole bunch of people. You guys are more enthusiastic about the Xbox brand than I am, but I get it. But they don't completely ignore everything that's happening and give Xbox a pass. Shit, I've converted to PlayStation as being my favorite console. And y'all know when y'all come here, we don't give them a pass at all. We see the numbers drop when we start talking about that dog shit Concord and so forth. We are going to speak our mind here. But there's so many of y'all that King Thrash and Porter Rock was saying that you guys became so staunch on the battle itself. You guys became so fierce on the battle that you forgot to critique the product. And the product was changing right in front of your eyes. It was totally different from the thing that made you want to defend it in the first place. And now you're angry. You were angry about it. Oh, it's all PlayStation's fault. They're money hotting and all this other crazy goofy shit, right? But now what we see is now you're bargaining. The same motherfuckers. We got it. Look, Thrash has the tapes. That's why I had to just come clean. Like, bro, you got me. There were motherfuckers that were bots with me and still are. Or maybe they transitioned. I don't know. whatever you want to call it. where we were on the podcast with King Thrash. Thrash told us Xbox is going third party. And we all were like, no. Now, I will admit, one said, you know what? I think they are going to go third party. You know what I'm saying? I think they are the first to pull the trigger. They had suspect they were like, yeah, I think PlayStation's going to do it too or whatever, whatever. But Thrash was like, no. And the rest of us, we were like, no. And they said, in their own words, if Xbox goes third party, I'm done, right? Fast forward to today, Cold Blood. Xbox is essentially going third party. What are they saying? Now they're bargaining. Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind that Xbox games are on PlayStation. I've accepted the fact that, this is the antithesis of what you regarded as a consumer and what you were willing to spend your money for. That's like if someone says, what is something that would make you return your food if you bought it from a restaurant? Oh, if the food was uncooked, if I found a pube in my food, someone spit on my sandwich, of course I'm taking that shit back. And I say, oh, okay. Well, I didn't cook your steak. Oh, and I drag my nuts on it, and then I go, and you go, well, I mean, we all have pubes and spit. Can you hand me the butter knife? And you just let it go. That's bargaining. So now I feel like a lot of people that were like, there's no way I'm going to accept anything less than 60 frames per second. World's most powerful console. Oh, you know what? 30 frames per second ain't bad. It is more cinematic. That's bargaining. So you guys are in stage 3 in the 5 stages of grief. At some point in time, you're going to reach depression. And oh my God, because I've been there. I've already been through the 5 stages of grief. The only thing I did, though, is there was no bargaining. Me and Porter Rock talked about it. He told me something. I was upset. I immediately went from stage 2 to stage 4. I was like, I was looking at all my Xboxes and I was like,
you're just depressed immediately.
Yeah. I went to depression. I went from stage 2. I just fucking leapfrogged stage 3. There was no bargaining, bro. No. I'm lying. I am lying. I bargained because what did I do when I realized what was going on? I brought the homie Will Sinks on, and we were sitting there having these multi-hour podcasts where we were talking about, hey, Xbox, why don't you try this? Xbox, try that. Man, you got to try this. If you do this instead of that, it'll be better. That's bargaining. So I'm lying. I had to check myself. So I did, but I was only in that mode for a short period of time. That was my form of bargaining. And then I immediately went to depression. I was depressed. I was like, fuck. This has been like the pillar of my gaming experience. Like everything is centered around Xbox for me when it comes to gaming since 2001 or 2002. And that's all going away now. Like I've always had, since 2002 or 2001, 2002, I've always had an Xbox in my house. I've always been subscribed to Xbox Live. Like, yeah, I was one of the, when people was like, oh, I don't need to subscribe to Live. I did it early. I was like, this was like PlayStation was only for my JRPGs. It was an afterthought. And for games that, you had to have a PlayStation because you want to play Grand Theft Auto, right? You had to have a and I was big on fighters back then. I love King of Fighters. King of Fighters was not coming to Xbox. So I had to have a PlayStation. But besides that, when it came to my main gaming, PlayStation was an afterthought. It was like that for 17 years. Anywhere between 15 to 17 years, it was like that. Then in 2019, I officially gave up on Xbox. Traded in my Scorpio so I can get a PlayStation 5. Got rid of all of the Xboxes in my house except for one that's still sitting here for testing. So, yep, it's crazy stuff. So we got all those dynamics happening, right? With the Xbox community, which I can relate to a lot of it, but I think that some people are bargaining, and they're bargaining way too long, and they need to stop it because they're not changing for you. They're just fooling you. They're playing rope-a-dope with you and keeping you on board so they can still get that money from you, that Xbox Live or Game Pass money from you. And then when they feel like they got a good enough grasp, like here's something that King Thrash informed me of that I wasn't aware of. He told me that Sarah Bond came from mobile, right? I believe Sarah Bond she came from T-Mobile, right? So if Sarah Bond came from mobile, and one thing that he pointed out is Xbox always hires people. When they hire new people, they're people to lead them in the new direction that they're thinking about. I mean, a lot of companies do that too, but they go on a mass exodus of people that thought the old way, and they start bringing in leadership for the new way. So if Sarah Bond is a mobile person, and we got court documents where Phil Spencer says, I think console is a Polaroid and I want to do mobile. I mean, that's all y'all needed to hear, really. Like, I've already converted. I still try to, be an archaeologist and dig through you guys' minds and figure out why you think Phil is still going to turn it around. For those of you that are wanting him to turn it around. Those of you that are fine with the product, this conversation is not for you. Feel free to stick around, but you're in a different basket. You're fine with the product, so there's nothing wrong. But for those of you that are waiting for a turnaround, the moment I saw Phil Spencer say console is a Polaroid, for you guys, I would have been out. It's different for someone like me. I'm a cloud gamer. Most of y'all are not. How many hours y'all clocking on xCloud? How many hours? How many hours a week? Oh, I don't do a 4 hour a week. Oh, damn. How many hours a month? Oh, I don't do a 4 hour a month, huh? Like, have you booted up xCloud? I think I did in 2020.
Mark. 1 minute. That's how much I got time on xCloud.
It kills me. All these people that are like, but cloud is the future, but they're not cloud gamers and they won't give it a time of the day. Like I co-own a cloud publication, Cloud Dosage. We got a cloud channel, Cloud Dosage, same name on YouTube. So yeah, I'm a cloud gamer. I game, and my favorite way to play, as long as the game is there, is NVIDIA GeForce Now. It's just my favorite console is PlayStation, no doubt. And I think the best marketplace for games is the PlayStation 5 marketplace, without a shadow of a doubt. But again, I indulge in cloud gaming. So yeah, it would make sense for someone like me to say, oh yeah, cloud gaming is the future. I have massive hours logged into cloud gaming. Most of you capping for it on behalf of Xbox, you don't. You don't. How many hours? How many hours you guys average? Put it in the chat. If I'm lying, I'm flying. How many hours a week do y'all have in the cloud gaming? 5 minutes. 5 minutes a week? No, 5 minutes since 2020. Y'all don't cloud game. So why are you passing down this rhetoric that, yeah, cloud gaming is the future? Cloud gaming may be the future. It may not be the future for Xbox. We don't know. They have yet to put forth a cloud gaming product that tantalizes the masses. I go to various mainstream gamers that play GeForce Now. They're like, oh, this shit is awesome. This shit is cool. But I prefer native gaming because they're not so trustworthy of it, or their overall experience is better in native gaming. And I can dig that. But they're like, oh man, if let's just say I didn't have my console with me and all I had was GeForce Now, I would be cool. It's cool. I prefer native gaming. That's not what we're hearing from mainstream gamers about xCloud. They don't even want to touch it. except for some of the more rabid users that want to test things out. And I'm talking about outside of cloud gamers. Xbox gets hella usage within the cloud gaming community. I'm talking about outside of that community. If you normally game on hardware, the average gamer is not clocking into xCloud. So why are you defending this vaporware that cloud gaming is the future for when you have no evidence of that? You don't know that. I have reason to believe that. I play this shit. I play on the NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. You don't. You don't even boot up the Xbox One. Why are you saying this? So those are the type of things that I think gamers got to get to grips with and understand that, hey, I can't just co-sign. I can't, the industry term is rubber stamp. I just can't rubber stamp the things that Xbox says, because they say things that are quote unquote in flight, meaning these are ideas. They're in flight. It's an industry term. In flight. It's an idea. But by the time it's time for it to hit retail and actually get in consumers' hands, it's nothing like what they promised it would be. So when you guys get out of the realm of rubber stamping whatever Xbox says, then you'll be able to separate yourself and see the forest from the trees. And then you'll be able to see what's going on. And then you'll be able to go through your continued stages of grief where you're out of bargaining. You might be a little depressed because you've been gaming on Xbox probably solely for the last few decades, right? But you'll get over it quick because you'll try something. You'll try something somewhere else. And you'll realize, oh, gaming elsewhere is just fine. It's just a psychological thing. It's a psychological thing that's been beating my head because I do nothing but sit with a community of people that do nothing but try to degrade PlayStation or degrade this or degrade that. And now that I'm out on my own, it's scary, but I've tried something new and I find out it's actually been better. Holy shit, I've been missing a lot. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that reach out to me, not just in our chat, not just in our comments, but reach out to me in DM and say, hey, MM2K, great video, kudos to you in Cold Blood, great video. Hey, look, man, I used to be an Xbox gamer too, and I had to leave it alone, and I got me a PlayStation, or I got me this, and I'm so much happier. I can't believe what I was missing. Holy shit. I didn't even see him. We got Thrash in the chat. What's up, Thrash? What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. What's up, man? Great interview. I don't know if you get a chance, Thrash, rewind the video and check out the beginning. I took out the segment where you were talking about reviews. I left all the juicy stuff for they gotta, get in the membership pool to check out the juicy stuff, because here's the thing about Thrash's interview. Both interviews were fantastic. They were great. I had a lot of fun talking to Porter Rock as well. I mean, you guys get a lot of insight from both interviews. Here's the thing about Thrash's interview though. Thrash is working on a project correct me if I'm wrong, Thrash. Thrash is working on a project where he said he hasn't really talked about this project that much. And I said, you know what, bro? I'm not going to hold you. Keep going. And bro, you can tell he's put so much energy and effort and did so much research in this project. And I was totally into it. Like, oh, I never even thought about that. I can't wait till he's done with this shit. So I'm like, I want more. But I said, I was Thrash. I was being slick. I was like, I want more, but I don't want to look too thirsty. I gotta hear more. And bro was just sharing and sharing and sharing. That within itself, You can call me an asshole all you want. That within itself, it's too valuable to just throw out in the street and say, here. You're getting special insight into something to where I really think is coming from a perspective that, goddamn, you might go, wow, I never even thought about that. Our brother Thrash was sharing something with us that he ain't even shared at that level of detail on his own channel. No, you got to be a member for that shit. Oh, hell no. We ain't giving that. No, we ain't just throwing that out there in the street. But shout out to my brother Thrash. Thank you for coming through, man. Yeah, that was a great interview. They were both great interviews. Both great interviews. But yeah, Thrash shared something in relation to his you know what I'm saying, in relation to his special project. He hasn't even shared that level of detail on his own channel, and I'm gonna handle that with kid gloves, and join up at the Foamy Homie tier, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so those are the stages of grief that you guys are going through. After you get through the depression stage like I did, then you guys will be okay. You'll realize, damn, it wasn't even that bad. I mean, yes, it was great while it lasted. I'll always have my memories of gaming on Xbox. Those were really the best memories that I had. Can nobody take that away from me? But at the end of the day, I'm a gamer with a capital G. It's about gaming at the end of the day, and we got to keep it at a certain level. This is unacceptable. This is not the same Xbox that I know of before. I can't support this. If anybody wants to support that, that's fine, but that's not me, because they're done, son. That's the way I look at it. Like, if you like it, I love it. You enjoy it. I'm not mad at you. It's just I can't support it because that's not what I came in here for. And again, on the flip side, like I don't really game on the Switch. I don't game on the Switch. Do you hear me talking negatively about the Switch? No, because the difference is Xbox makes promises that they do not keep all the time, and they do it in the most deceitful fashion, and I don't think that's ethically right. All these companies got shit with them. All these companies got shit with them. Every single last one of them. But I've been gaming for almost 40 years. Me and Porter Rock was talking about that. He started off on a ColecoVision like I did. You can hear his story during his interview. That's like 40 years ago. I've been gaming for almost 40 years. In my 40 years of gaming, reading the magazines, covering it, and now making YouTube content, I have never met a less transparent and sneaky platform leader than Phil Spencer. He's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. And we'll talk about that when we sit down with Tim Dog on Sunday. He's a nice guy. But when it comes to transparency and working to the best interest of the consumer base that you keep trying to quote unquote appeal to and claim that they're the heart of your business, no. He is the worst. I don't know him as a person. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker he could be giving out free turkeys every Wednesday and Thursday and Sunday. He could be the most charitable motherfucker on this side of the East Atlantic. I don't know. But when it comes to gaming and his gaming leadership, no. That's why you hear me talk about Xbox and not Nintendo. Even though I don't play Nintendo either. Really, I play Xbox more than I play Nintendo. So why don't I dog Nintendo? Because it's not about fanboy stuff here. It's about evaluating what decisions are being made in gaming. And if you're being deceitful and being less fruitful to the community, to the gamer, I don't give a fuck about these execs. Fuck them. I don't, what are they doing for me? Anytime I talk to a company, like if I like their product and we're talking behind the scenes or whatever, I let them know up front, look, I really like what you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I can't be I can't be bought or sold. Got it? Good. You know? So that's why, like any of these ambassador programs or anything like that. I'm never a part of it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to my peoples at Stadia. Like they, you know, behind the scenes, most of them rocked out with me, but because of how vocal I would get and how sharp I would get at the tongue, some of them had to start unfollowing me. You know what I'm saying? And really didn't communicate with me anymore. I cannot be bought or sold, because I don't do this for the company. I don't do this to get perks for the company. I don't deceive you to get perks for the company. I do this for you. So as long as the companies are servicing you in what I feel is an acceptable way, they'll get kudos from me. The moment they start trying to fuck customers over, that's when they feel the wrath. And I feel like Xbox, not all of them, there's a lot of customers that are just are happy with the direction. That's fine. But the customers that are sitting around waiting for something else because they've been brainwashed into believing that Xbox is the only arbitrator of good gaming, that if it's not coming through Xbox, there's no way it can be good. That's why y'all believe this horseshit that consoles are in trouble, that console gaming is in trouble. Y'all believe that because y'all have been brainwashed into believing that the only way to experience good gaming is through Xbox. That's why y'all sit by and just let all this dog shit happening. Well, look, Redfall is dog shit. Look, I gotta be honest, Starfield is disappointing. We know y'all think that way because men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't lie. Starfield dropped off the face of the map. Redfall was doo-doo. They should have called it doo-doo fall. What happened to Hellblade 2? There's more people playing Hellblade 1 than Hellblade 2. Hellblade 1 came out 8 years ago. Hellblade 2 came out a couple of months ago. Like, what are we doing? We know that's what y'all think. Yeah, it's not great now, but if it's not great at Xbox, it's bad everywhere. That's what y'all been led to believe, because y'all been in this silo for too long. Y'all like Boo Radley and goddamn To Kill a Mockingbird. Y'all ain't seen sunlight in 1,000 Sundays and shit. Get the fuck out of the attic. Go get you some sunlight. Gaming isn't bad in other places. It's actually better. I believed it too. I was indoctrinated too. Until I got out, got my Boo Radley ass out of the attic. It was scary at first. The sun was hitting me in the head a little bit. I couldn't handle it. But naturally, your body's supposed to absorb some sunlight and get it. And everything was fine. Naturally, as a gamer, you're supposed to have good experiences. So as you sit down with the controller elsewhere for a little bit, you'll loosen up and be like, oh, hold on. Oh shit, I'm excited. This is great level design, great gameplay loop, good graphics, good story. Oh shit, this is familiar. Oh, I ain't felt this in a long time. Oh shit. Oh baby. Oh. And then you'll realize, damn, I was locked in that attic for so long for all the wrong reasons, and it's actually not bad out here. And you can feel that way and still have the nostalgia for the OG Xbox and be like, man, those were the good old days, but you got to keep moving. You're only hurting yourself by believing these indoctrinated tropes about gaming elsewhere. It's not true. Trust me. All right. Let's see here. Your MVBN said 0 hours. Yeah, there is none. Is Forza still a big hitter to you guys? We can only imagine it will have a good reception on PlayStation 5. Here's the fact of the matter. The last Forza did not do well because its launch was considered horrible. Forza 5 did well as you can do on Xbox. Forza 5, I think, did well on PC as well as an Xbox game can do on PC. Forza is the creme de la creme when it comes to Xbox quality for AAA games. Even though it's for a racer and people are generally not into racers like they used to be, it's still the creme de la creme of Xbox. Even people that troll Xbox are in unison in saying, you know what? Forza is a quality product. It deserves the praise that it gets. and it would, and it would do more to sell Xbox consoles if this was like maybe 10, 15 years ago, where racers were like a big thing. Racers are not system sellers like they used to be, right? So I think Forza 5 coming over, in my opinion, is a big deal. I mean, it will. I mean, look, if Sea of Thieves can go from 192nd on NPD all the way up to the top 20, I think Forza 5 will do it as well. I feel like that for people that like racers, by all appearances, it's a quality title. That is a big deal, because if Xbox continues to see more success than they do on their own console and PC, which it appears is happening on PlayStation, this is what you guys are forgetting. The PlayStation Marketplace is a very powerful place. It is essentially the most powerful place in gaming, in AAA gaming. I'm sorry. I will show you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. Do I have this book? If I don't have it bookmarked, because I don't want to take too much time, because we got a lot of shit going on here that I want to show you guys. But the PlayStation, the PS5 market, not PlayStation. I'm talking specifically PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 marketplace. Let me see, Matt. Piscatella. Hold on, Matt. Damn it. I did not bookmark this. I don't know why I didn't. Tella. June. US. Video games. I just had this up here. I don't know why I didn't. Crap. NPD. Is this it? That's last year. Where is this year's? Here we go. No, that's okay, let me just go on this page and see if I can. I should be able to find it easy. And I don't know why I didn't bookmark this shit. But the PlayStation Marketplace is just bonkers. It's sick. And it's, oh, what the fuck am I doing, y'all? I already got, I'm sorry. I already got the link. Here goes the NPD link right here. I already got it in my notes. Sorry. All right, let's do this. And then we're going to continue on. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, so here goes NPD for year-to-date 2024. I want to go over the games, all of them with you. Helldivers 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Dragon's Dogma 2, MLB The Show, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, WWE 2K24, Tekken 8, Madden 24, Hogwarts Legacy, Kill the Justice League, NBA 2K24, FC 24, Persona 3 Reload, Grand Theft Auto 5, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Stellar Blade, Rise of Ronin. This chart right here represents the top 20 games for North America, the largest region for console gaming. Okay. And the largest region for AAA gaming. Do you know what the commonality is of every game on this list? There's only one place. There's only one place to where every single game on this list can be played. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Let's just say if you had a choice between Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, 3, 2, Xbox One, whatever, PC, none of them would grant you access to every game on this list. Not every game. A lot of them, most of them, some of them. The only place that grants you access to every game on this list is the PlayStation 5 marketplace. That's why the PlayStation 5 is such a formidable marketplace. Every single game on this list. I get it. Call of Duty's huge. Helldivers 2 so far is bigger. Look at Sea of Thieves. If we go back to when Sea of Thieves started tracking, Sea of Thieves started tracking because of what? Sea of Thieves started tracking because of PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation Marketplace. There's a reason for that. Porter Rock and I talked about that during the interview. I'll give you a little snippet. Now, Porter Rock has his theory. Here's a little snippet of mine. Last year was the biggest fiscal year of PlayStations being sent out. It was the largest year of PlayStations being sent out, even more so than the PlayStation 4. 20.8 million consoles were sent out. Do you think those 20.8 million consoles are just sitting in under someone's Christmas tree still? No. People plugged them in, they bought games, and now they're playing games. So the influence of the PlayStation 5 marketplace is going to continue to have significant impact on this list. We may go into next month and it's the same thing, where PlayStation 5 is the only play. Like, there were so many PlayStations sent out last fiscal year that the PlayStation 5, if you don't see I'll put it to you like this. PlayStation has sent out a crazy message to gamers and game developers. You want to see success? You better put your game on PlayStation 5. And you know who heeded the call? Xbox has heeded the call. To where Sea of Thieves, even though it's available on PC, remember, there's 1 billion people on PC. Even though it's available on PC and Xbox, it was like 192nd until when? Until it got on PlayStation 5. Look at it. Marvel in it. The PlayStation 5 marketplace is a formidable marketplace. That's not by accident, folks. So the point is that don't let nostalgia misdirect you. Things have changed. They've changed. While everybody else is enjoying their gaming elsewhere, we are still following crazy gaming tropes that suggest that the only way you can experience good gaming is through Xbox. That is not true. That is the farthest thing from the truth, actually. And if you're playing Xbox, and Xbox is your preferred platform, it better be your preferred platform because of what they're delivering now. Not because of what they delivered in the past, not because of what you hope they'll deliver in the future. I actually had a conversation with a gamer where I said, Xbox, why do you have an Xbox day one? They're not delivering you anything that I know you particularly like. And the person said, because I'm confident they're going to deliver me the stuff that I do want. Several years later, they got Redfall. I know they're not playing Starfield. That's not even their cup of tea. Fucking Redfall, Starfield, Hellblade 2. For you to miss out on Marvel Spider-Man 2, Stellar Blade. We played a little bit of Rise of Ronin. I think it's a good game. I'm questionable about the $70 price tag, but I still think it's a good game, right? And it's gone down in price. There's been significant sales. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's still up here in the top 10, even though it's only available on the PlayStation 5 marketplace. It's not even available on PlayStation 4. That's what makes these PlayStation games that place up here so significant, and it really trickles down to the other games that up here. You got to really then ask yourself, why are these other games up here? Or are they up here because of PlayStation 5? Now, granted, we know that Helldivers 2, it's easy to fathom that Helldivers 2 is up here because of how much of a phenomenon it is on PC, but PlayStation 5 played a huge role in that as well. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Where does Call of Duty, what is it, Cold Blood, that 40% of Call of Duty sales are on what? PlayStation? Is that true or not true?
I think it's even more than 40.
Oh my God. So did that forces you to look at all these other games? Like, why are these other games up here? If you take away the PlayStation 5 activity, do they drop off the list? See, we think about things more beyond the veil. We go beyond the incel debate. You salty pony. We go beyond that stupid, silly shit. Think about it. If you take away just the PlayStation 5 activity on any of these games, do they fall off this list? Now, every game may not fall off this list, but they may drop considerably. Helldivers 2 may not be number 1 no more if you take away the PlayStation 5. It might still be in the top 5. Who knows? Because its activity on PC is massive. That's the majority of the part for Helldivers 2, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare, huge game, still going to be on the list. Is it still number 2? Dragon's Dogma. And the list goes on and on. I'm talking about just PlayStation 5. Take the PlayStation 5 activity. Do these games even stay on the list? Because why? Because we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Remember the game that flopped? Then it made Square Enix go bankrupt. Number 6. Solely because of PlayStation 5. This is year to date. This ain't just a month. This is year to date. Marvel Spider-Man 2, the game came out last year. Still in the top 20. Year to date. Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin, only because of PlayStation. There are games that are on Xbox and they're packed up by PC and they're still not on here. Like, don't give me that dog shit about, because it's on Game Pass. Most PC gamers don't give two monkey dog shit fucks about Game Pass. They're going to Steam and they're buying the game outright. We saw that with Starfield the month that it launched, right? Yeah. So explain to me with the power of Steam and then Xbox why it took PlayStation 5 to get Sea of Thieves from 192nd or something like that up here in the top 20. Right? This is stuff that you need to think about. Hogwarts Legacy, juggernaut of a game. It sells well everywhere. It's still 11th. Would it be 11th without PlayStation 5? It's a good question. When you understand the power of the PlayStation 5 marketplace, it makes you wonder how well games would perform without it. That speaks to how good the marketplace is and how much gamers are enjoying it over other marketplaces. Food for thought. All right. Let's see what the chat's saying, and then we're going to get back to our particulars about what's going on with PlayStation. With Xbox. With those games listed, it would be for the PlayStation 5. That's a no-brainer. Well, Ryan, there's a lot of people walking around here without brains. I hate to inform you, Ryan. There's a lot of people out here that are brainless. Kevin Logan says, you guys heard about Activision shutting down another fan-made? Yeah. Oh, shit. Cold Blood, did you want to? Cold Blood talked about that earlier today. He had a lot to say. I don't know if he wants to comment on it further, but that's why you guys should be members. That's why you guys should.
Let's play the part on our member stream.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it.
Like in the beginning.
Yep. Let's go to studio. This is why you guys should be members. We got a lot of great content coming over there on that side. And again, we don't do what everybody else does. People try to gouge motherfuckers, and we just say, look, man, Is this it? Yep, this is it. Right? Is this? No. That's not it. Wrong. What the fuck was I just doing? Hold on, let's go. Here it goes right here. God, excuse me. I don't know what the hell I was doing. All right. So I'm going to play, let's play what Cold Blood and I was saying, at the beginning of the stream, and you'll get Cold Blood's, take on this whole Modern Warfare thing. Let's go.
Good. Finally done with night shift for this week.
You changed your avatar again. What the fuck? What is that? What did you change it to? Oh, I see it. I can dig it in Discord.
I mean, from now on until the end of fucking time.
Yeah.
I will not buy a single fucking game from this company ever again.
Yeah. Yep.
You either give it to me for free and I just play it for once.
Yeah.
Or don't give me anything. Yep. But bro, after what you done yesterday, you are fucking done to me. My fucking dream project. Not even released. You just say, oh, cease and desist, bye-bye. Fuck you. You ain't doing shit with Modern Warfare 2. For years we asked for a remaster. We finally get it from a team of passionate people that took the time to make it. What they do? Oh yeah, cease and desist, bye-bye. What the fuck? At least announce yourself that you make a remaster. Then it would be understandable. But right now it's just, we are afraid that some of our players not gonna go to Black Ops 6 now. And we have to protect our copyright. We have to protect our copyright. Bro, who the fuck cares? Yeah. It's a fucking harmless project where you need Modern Warfare Remastered anyway.
In order to play it, yeah.
Yeah, you had to buy that motherfucker on Steam. You were literally top 3 on the Steam charts because of this shit.
Yep.
And you waited till the fucking sale was over, yeah? One day before the release of the mod to cease and desist that shit, instead of saying immediately, nah, it ain't happening. You first took all the money from all the people, yeah? Then you took it down. Bro, nah. This company is beyond saving. Morally, at least.
Damn. There you have it. It's Cold Blood's thoughts on the whole Modern Warfare thing. Yeah, man. We be getting into a whole bunch of shit over on the member side. Yeah, man. That was some grimy stuff. Definitely some grimy stuff. Zap Mando says you can get Stellar Blade for $40 on GameFly right now. That's what's up. Yo, we got Geek in the house. Let's talk a little bit more about what's happening here with the rumor of Forza Horizon 5 coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. As this news was breaking, right, we had a lot of people going back and forth on whether it's a big deal. I want to play something for you guys. Now, this is from Porter Rock. This is very interesting. This came from Porter Rock. This is a tweet. Let's put it up here. Porter Rock says, Paris has been absolutely wrong. No. Let me play what Paris said first, and then we're going to get to what Porter Rock's response is, because I thought it was spot on. Shout out to Oliver Darko. This is Oliver Darko went and pulled a clip of Paris talking in advance about what Xbox gamers should do if something like this were to happen. Very interesting, because I wonder what he would say about this now. Oliver Darko said earlier this year, Xbox podcaster Pillis Lilly said that if core major AAA exclusives like Forza, Halo, or Gears ever show up on PlayStation, then he would understand the outrage and Xbox fans should get their pitchforks. Let's go to what Paris had to say earlier in the year, and let's talk about it on the back end. And let me do this. Let me mute my mic, and then I'm gonna play it, put it in the sound bar so Cold Blood can hear it. Let me do that now.
So if they're looking at it at this late stage of that game's life to say, you know what, maybe we should expand it and put it on more platforms. Maybe we do bring it to the Switch. Maybe we do bring it to PlayStation, right? It's not the craziest thing in the world to say that a Microsoft game is on a PlayStation platform, because Minecraft lives there, and the various iterations of Minecraft already live there, same as Nintendo. So here's a multiplayer game where you want to get as many people as you possibly can playing that game. You bring it to that platform. Again, it's not like it's coming day and date. This is the first time it's ever come out. They're not taking anything away from the current Xbox community in that aspect. If anything, they're giving you more people to interact with within the Sea of Thieves community. So again, I do not see this as a bad thing. Now, let's look at the big picture of all of this. Is Xbox going third party? No, they're not going third party. Now, if there comes a day where Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond or Matt Booty come out and go, you know, we've made the decision that we're bringing Gears of War, Halo, Forza, I don't know, Avowed, Starfield. Like, in other words, if all of their core major AAA exclusive IPs all of a sudden start showing up on Nintendo and PlayStation platforms, go ahead, get your pitchforks out. I understand the outrage, because at that point, why is Xbox even making hardware? Just be a third-party company. But that's not what they're doing. They're taking, and again, they've said this in the past, case-by-case basis with certain titles, things that make sense to show up on another platform. They're putting them on another platform because they're just exposing them to more people. A Fallout 76, an Elder Scrolls Online, now it may potentially a Sea of Thieves. Things like that make sense to, you want to put it in many places as you possibly can. I highly doubt you're going to see the Elder Scrolls 6 on a PlayStation. I highly doubt you're going to see the sequel to Starfield on a PlayStation, Gears of War 6, whatever the next Halo is going to be, Forza 9, Forza Horizon 6. You're not going to see these things leave the Xbox ecosystem. They're just simply not. That's not what their business model is. Their business model is now with Activision.
So that's what Paris said. Right on time. Geek the Sneak says, but Paris has to be frustrated. I don't think frustrated is the word, bro. Charlotte said, but it's not day and date. See, this is what happens when, and Porter Rock and I talked about this yesterday. This is what happens when you talk off emotions because you've catered your content to placate to a certain audience, opposed to, hey, look, I'm talking in, to a specific demographic, but your emotions are not going to change what I say. They may change how I say it, but I'm out here to say XYZ regardless of who's listening. This is the stuff that I want to talk about, and I want to be honest about it. Or what, when you don't do that, that's when you say things like that. Clearly, Paris is not in the boardroom because he didn't get the fucking memo. And that's okay. You're not in the boardroom. But if anything needs to be proven, I've had to learn that you got to learn how definitively you talk about things. Look, I've I've had people within Google leak me shit about Stadia. I've had it happen. And I've sat on it because I didn't know, because I get it. Just because an employee hears about something, is this the person that's deciding the fate of said thing? Because I've been in a position like that business-wise. Like my boss could sit there and have a conversation with me and say, hey, look, man, we're planning to do XYZ ABC. And I'm like, oh shit. And I go run to a reporter. Yeah, we're going to do XYZ ABC. And then my boss comes to me the next day and said, oh yeah, we were just all passing it around and the big boss decided, nah, we're not going to do it. If it's not coming from the person within the company that's deciding the fate of said thing, even stuff that comes from people internally can be bad information. May not necessarily be bad faith. They thought, hey, I heard it from a superior. This is a thing. But if you're not there in the room while the decision is being made, anything you're given from anybody could be flimsy. So even as I would get information from quote unquote inside sources, I said, let me sit on this a little bit before I move forward, because something can change. And when I felt like that I vetted it enough to where it was definitely going forward, or I sat on it long enough and the decision was made that this was going to happen because I saw XYZ happening after the fact, then I released the information. Clearly, Paris is not in the boardroom, and he needs to stop talking like the fuck he is. That's for one. But that's a segue into our different part. But now let's focus on what he said that Xbox gamers should do. He said y'all should revolt. I mean, I don't know about you, Cold Blood, but I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree that if you're, because look, if Horizon Zero Dawn ends up on Xbox, then I gotta ask, why the fuck do I have a PlayStation? Did I waste $400 here? And my thing is, if that's the game that you're going to play, then you know what? I might not even get a PlayStation. So of course you should revolt. PlayStation gamers would revolt if it was in the reverse. Going to PC is one thing, depending upon how soon you put it on PC. That's one thing. There's so many intricacies to PC to where the average console gamer isn't going to go there unless it's coming so close to day and date that it just almost makes sense for you to like say, instead of me getting a console every so often and getting a mid-gen refresh, I'm better off just using this money to upgrade my PC. So that's the games going to PC can be tricky and a little different. But if it's going to another console, I mean, yeah, of course you should revolt. My question for you, Cold Blood, is what do you think Paris is going to stick to this, or you think that he's going to like backtrack from that and then come up with an ulterior motive and say, things are different every 5 minutes, the universe changes on the axis, and today's price is not yesterday's price. What do you think, Cold Blood? Is he going to stick to this, or is he going to flip flop?
My prediction is his narrative is going to change to, it's okay that it's on PlayStation because Xbox is gonna be like a sidekick to the PlayStation with this handheld that they're apparently making. That's gonna be the next narrative. Watch. Yeah.
Yep. Because they're still in the bargaining. The 5 stages of grief, they're still in the bargaining stage. I mean, I know I said that with the utmost confidence, but I've decided because how the universe and the stars align. I'm going to change my mind. You got to,
just look on his, look, just look at his Twitter.
Yeah.
That's exactly what his fucking messaging is right now.
Oh, for real? Oh shit! And I was gonna do that next too. Let's go to Paris's Twitter. Yeah, I mean, I know I said that No, there's clips of me saying that out there. Yeah. Let's see what he says. Lucky Square.
No, further down.
Okay. My 2 cents on Xbox and PlayStation. Don't sit on the sidelines too long for emerging hybrid handheld market. Nintendo and Valve have provided the blueprints for success. A handheld curated to provide easy access to your digital stores and services that also docks to the living room TV is going to be a key component to the future of how we interact with gaming. I mean, look, if that's your takes, fine. That's your take. That's a lot better than saying no. But here's the problem. It's not that Paris is void of bad takes and he's being paid off to now all of a sudden do bad takes. I feel like Paris always had bad takes. I've never agreed with Paris's takes. But I would say, at least in the past, Paris would say things that he believed opposed to hoped for his creation future. What am I talking about? When Paris came on the scene and he was just someone that was enthusiastic about gaming and he was enthusiastic about expressing his opinions, he was thoroughly a PlayStation dude, right? And I was an Xbox guy, and it would give me heartburn listening to him sometimes, only because we had differences of opinions on gaming, and I didn't agree with his takes, but you could tell that he was being authentic and truthful in what he believed. Paris is known during the 2013 E3, the one that, started to decide the fate of Xbox and PlayStation that generation. He was outside with somebody and they were talking about how Xbox is just a shooter box and all this. I mean, he was talking mad shit, right? But the takes that he gave, whether they were fathomable or not, they aligned with his views and they aligned with his level of intelligence, which I don't think Paris is a dumb person at all. I don't think he's stupid at all. I don't think he's stupid or dumb. And the Paris back then would have never made the assumptions of the Paris today. I thought as you got older, you got smarter. Like, I'm not talking about you getting into senior age, you need a diaper age. I'm talking about, you go from your 30s to your 40s. I thought the older you got smarter. Not that you devolved mentally, but you got smarter. From an all intents and purposes, the Paris from 10 years ago would have never saw what he saw and then came to this conclusion. The Paris from 10 years ago would have said, oh yeah, they're going third party. Oh yeah, the whole damn slate is going. Paris from 10 years ago would have said that if the shoe was reversed and this was happening at PlayStation, he would have enough common sense to say, yeah, this is, damn it, I'm upset. Fuck. PlayStation, you bastards, you're going third party. And when I say he would have used his common sense, this Paris is not using his common sense. This Paris is just speaking wishfully based upon the trajectory of his content creation career. I spoke about this 1,000 times in more detail. I spoke about it in member content elsewhere. Check it out. Members, check it out. And you'll hear where I talk about why I believe that Paris is saying these things that are extremely out of bounds and they just make no sense whatsoever, to where he's sitting there and saying definitively this does not make up their business strategy. Like he's sitting in a boardroom, where even if you were sitting in a boardroom, which he clearly wasn't, everything that they're doing is the antithesis of what you would do if you're not putting this stuff elsewhere. But when it comes to Xbox and how Xbox gamers should react, look, it's not rocket science. I think Xbox gamers just got to get out of their indoctrinated fog. If you're an Xbox gamer who's not happy with the stuff that's going on, you're the one that you believe that, hey, I'm sticking around because even though things are happening that I don't enjoy, I truly feel that I'm not going to enjoy gaming elsewhere. So I'm just going to deal with it here in hopes that they turn it around, because I believe that they will. You got to get out of that indoctrinated fog. And what you first got to do is, okay, if you want some type of semblance of a turnaround, I don't blame you. You invested a lot of money into this platform. You got to go to Xbox and say, you better change this shit immediately or we're fucking going. And you're not going to have us around to convert over to mobile. I know that's what the fuck you want to do. Like, we need people to stand up and say that. Xbox, we know what it is that you want to do. You said it in court. You want to convert over to mobile gaming. But guess what? You will lose a groundswell of money if we just drop off the face of the map and we don't support you anymore and we all go to PlayStation or somewhere else. So how about you do this? Cut the bullshit. Cut it. Because you won't make it to go to mobile. Cut it. If that becomes your unifying message and you actually act on it, like stop being scared, oh, I can't, oh, that DualSense controller is giving me scabies. If you stop acting like fucking punk and you actually act on it and do it, they'll be compelled to listen. I mean, and I don't mean literally just going on Twitter and saying you're going to, like, literally cancel your Xbox Game Pass. Just cancel the shit. Just sell your, get you a PlayStation. This is what I suggest that you do. I've told people to do this. You guys think I'm capping? If you guys think I'm capping, and you guys think that if you guys think that Xbox is truly the only good place to play games, do this. In the United States, and it might be elsewhere, I'm pretty sure we have a place called Rent-A-Center, and we have a place called Aaron's, where you can go, and there might be other places. There might be other places in the United States. I'm just talking about what's out east here. I'm in Pennsylvania. Go rent you a PlayStation for a week. And then somebody mentioned GameFly. Sign up for GameFly. Start off with simply Marvel Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok. You start off with Marvel Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, or Horizon Forbidden West. I feel like every gamer should experience Marvel Spider-Man 2. So that's why I'm saying that has to be one of your games. Because when you sign up for GameFly, they only start off allowing you to rent 2 games at most. And over time, as they begin to trust you, they'll give you access to 3 and 4 games, right? And I think 4 games is the max. But for your 2 games, get Marvel Spider-Man 2 and get God of War. And once and sign up for GameFly first, put those in your queue. You got to put them in a queue. And then when they indicate to you that those games have shipped, because I don't want you paying more for the PlayStation than you quote unquote have to, right? When they tell you that the games are in the mail, it's usually going to take you a couple of days. Even if you're close to a mailing center, it'll take you like 2 days to get the game. Here's what you're going to want to do. Then that's when you go to Rent-A-Center, or you go to Aaron's, or you go to any place that'll let you rent a PlayStation. They'll charge you weekly. So pay the weekly fee of like what, $20, whatever it is. Pay the weekly fee. Go pick up your PlayStation. Wait for your PlayStation games to come in the mail. And play them. Play them. It'll take you about a good week, maybe 2 weeks, if you faithfully play games. If you put several hours into them every day, it'll take you a week to 2 weeks to beat both games, right? Maybe even longer. But I'm saying if you put several hours into them a day, it'll take you a couple of weeks to beat them, right? So just rent your PlayStation for 2 weeks and do that. And then I want you to come back here and tell me if those games are better than anything that you've experienced while you were siloed on Xbox. And all of you might not say, yeah, but I guarantee you the overwhelming majority of you will. I told Cold Blood the other day, This is how much I care about gamers being in the know, because I was once a gamer that wasn't in the know and I was deceived. Not necessarily with I'm not talking about with just Xbox, but in other ways too, just on the consumer side. I was told shit didn't exist or whatever, or just given a bunch of bullpucky, and that's why I fight as vehemently as I do to make sure gamers are informed. I told Cold Blood, I said, say for instance, I was one of these Xbox gamers that stayed in that silo. I never broke away from Xbox. I never tried out Stadia. I never went to PC. I never tried out PlayStation. Never went to GeForce Now. Let's just say if I still gamed the way that I did, still hoping and wishing that, and still believing that good gaming was only presented by Xbox. So the only way that I'm going to get, acclimated to good gaming is I got to do it through Xbox. What if I still believe that, right? And let's just say my first PlayStation game that I played was Marvel Spider-Man 2. For some reason, I take the challenge, I take the plunge, and I play Marvel Spider-Man 2. I guarantee for anybody who's been gaming primarily on Xbox and has been sticking to Xbox, that the moment you play Marvel Spider-Man 2, you're going to sit there. You're probably going to steer up into the ethos in a daze. And then you're going to sit there and say, that's the best game I've played in the past 10 years. There has been nothing given to me by Phil Spencer that is on the level of Marvel Spider-Man 2. Like, this is fucking nuts. I've been playing. Then you're going to start getting angry. I've been playing this shit all this fucking time. What the fuck? I guarantee it. And I told Cold Blood that if I was in that scenario and someone said, okay, so you played it, Moss, right? Okay. Here's the kicker, Moss. I will give you $1 million. Even though that's the way that you feel, I would give you $1 million to go out here and lie and say Marvel Spider-Man 2 is just crap. It's one and done. It's over the shoulder buggy mess. We'll give you $1 million, if you say that, even though that's not what you believe. Or you get nothing, but you get to tell people the truth. I'm telling the truth every single time. I don't care if I'm homeless. I'm telling the truth every single time. That's how confounding it is to realize that PlayStation is in a place now to where even if you're a legacy Xbox gamer like myself, where you had certain types of games that you were into and you weren't into the PlayStation games in the past, the PlayStation games have gotten so much better now that even a legacy Xbox gamer is going to play them and say, holy fuck, this is better than anything that I've played under the reign of Phil Spencer. Like, this is the best experience I've had in 10 years. Oh my fucking God. The best experience I've had in 10 years. Oh my God. You guys are not going to hear that from the talking heads. You're not going to hear that from Jazz or whomever, because they make a living off of deceiving you. They make a living off deceiving you. So unlike me in that scenario where I would turn down $1 million for far less, they're like, oh, hell no. I mean, this is better. But under no shape, form, or fashion would I ever be honest about this. Never. You have to be your own best arbitrators or arbiters of facts. And you got to stop listening to these talking heads. We just played you example. You were just told by someone who clearly is not a dummy. You were told that no, this is not part of their business structure. There's no way they would do that. And look at what they've done since they've said that. Okay? It gets even worse, folks, because there's even a bigger problem, Cold Blood.
What's that?
Forza Horizon has gotten people, Xbox gamers, to say some of the most ridiculous shit ever. Let me show you this.
That's so surprising to you?
I mean, but you're really having a nervous breakdown. This is courtesy of Games Talk Live, which is, again, we got 2 more videos to show you where there's clear-cut examples of people saying stuff that is not factually, that is not adjacent to any facts. Games Talk Live is hosted by Fonzarelli, and I don't know if Hargeet is the co-host, or I don't know. I don't know if they hosted together. I don't know what the deal is, and I'm not that familiar with Hargeet. But in response to when this rumor dropped about Forza Horizon 5, they talked about it, and Hargeet is expressing his acceptance that this is happening. And then he goes into a whole nother, it goes left because Hargeet then says, this is part of their strategy. They're going to take over gaming. They're going to dominate gaming. Gaming is going to be all about Xbox, and they're going to buy up companies. And Fonz's like, whoa, wait. Why are we still trying to promote them buying up other, like, they shouldn't buy shit. And Hargeet's like, why? I'm sorry, go ahead. What are you going to say, Goldblatt? No,
it's facts.
Yeah.
They should not be anywhere close to a fucking stock market. God damn it. Fuck that, bro.
He said they should be blacklisted from NASDAQ. I'm with you.
Yeah, bro. Nah, fuck off. Like, seriously. Nah, y'all had enough.
Shit.
Work with your absolute dog shit companies that you bought.
So he's saying, no, like, yeah, that's what Fonz is saying. It's like, look, you guys got to get consistent, better games out here. And he's thinking about the legacy games. We know Call of Duty's always going to sell a cajillion copies, but he's talking about the legacy games. Starfield dropping off the face of the map. Hellblade 2 not really resonating the way that it should. Fucking Redfall, for crying out loud. Forza Motorsport 7 really having an abysmal engagement, right? That's what he's talking about. This dude is like, Fonz is like, yo, we don't need to do that. This dude then just goes berserk. And I think it's because inside he's really hurting that this is happening. But he's trying to justify it verbally, but emotionally he's really not okay with it. So I want you to hear this exchange between Fonzarelli and Hargeet, and then we're going to talk about it on the back end. So let me go back to my soundboard again. And let's do that. And let's play this.
And I just said this at Booms, right, like a few hours ago. I look at this differently now. Like, essentially, they're going to put their games everywhere. You can just accept that. Mm-hmm. And what that does mean is they're going to expand. So the differentiator is they want to make more money. And if it's not going to be a platform play, it's going to be a games play, right? Yeah. So they're going to go get more games. And when you're that big a company, they're always looking for how to make more. So they're going to go find the next big game that they can buy. There's only a handful, right? The big handful of games. There's EA, there's Take-Two, there's Epic. Those are going to be targets.
I don't want them to buy anything right now. I want them to just work on games that they have with the studios they have now. That's it. Like,
I think they're going to.
You think they're going to keep expanding their?
What business says I want to stop expanding?
A business that's not successful with what they have currently.
How are they not successful?
They haven't successfully put out big games consistently yet. I want the
their games sell more than PlayStation games. Their games make more than PlayStation games.
Yeah, but I'm talking. You asked me what titles. You asked me what games. I'm talking about Fable, Indiana Jones. Those things are big games for them. But they haven't produced it yet, and we haven't.
Came out. We're going to ignore that Psychonauts came out. We're going to ignore that Halo came out. That Starfield came out. We're going to ignore that Forza Motorsport came out. We're going to ignore that. I keep going.
We need consistency. But we need consistency with them.
They have more consistency than PlayStation. I'm sorry, but that's just a fact. People just keep overlooking it. PlayStation had 2 years this generation where they had shit. 2021 they had shit. 2024
but they had
have
games.
shit.
They did have games, even though they were remakes. They had remakes.
I'm not counting remakes. Fuck remakes.
But they were successful.
I don't care about remakes. Because if you want to talk about remakes, then in 2022 they had remakes too. I don't care about remakes. Xbox put out remakes. I don't care about remakes.
All I can say is wow. Fucking wow. Fucking wow. So you guys heard that, right? You guys heard that from Hargeet. Now, did you think that, Fawns, did you feel bad for Fawns? Let me know. Did y'all feel bad for Fawns? Did y'all say, oh shit, damn, Fawns was just trying to,
No, absolutely not. He decided to be friends with this dude, so nah, why should I?
Well, even bigger than that. And, I have no problem with Fawns. Fawns and I have interacted in the past, and I even told the story about how I at first I was hating on Fawns because, again, just like Paris, he applied a lot more common sense and was able to see things in regards to Xbox's failures and predict these things like a decade ago, but I was just hating because I was an Xbox. So just like Paris, I was hating on Fawns, and Fawns was like, whatever, dude, like you just don't understand what's going on here. Like this is not the same Xbox of Peter Moore. So again, someone who was able to apply such critical thinking skills, again, as you get older, you're supposed to be able to do it more. All of a sudden can't separate the forest from the trees. I don't believe it. Because and you guys are, and if you answer no, I don't feel sorry for Fawns, shout out to Fawns, then I think you're right. Because here, I want to play this from Fawns, where he, like Paris, talked about something that was self-evident in regards to games being everywhere, and he trying to deny the inevitable. Let's play that. And for those of you that answered incorrectly, like, yeah, I feel sorry for Fawns, we'll talk about that in the back end after we play our final video after this. All right, here we go.
Xbox games on PlayStation, it's the death knell. What happened?
So they took a portion of this article, as they usually do, right? They cherry pick a little portion that says that the CFO said that they were looking to expand some of their games on, PlayStation and even Nintendo. But if you look at the whole conversation, and context is everything, people. And I put a tweet about this because it's like, it was obvious that he was talking about the ABK deal, and he was talking about games like COD. But people are going to run with it. Oh no, he said that he wants to put games on PlayStation. They're going third party. And they all ran out to the streets and celebrated. They were happy about getting Xbox games on their platform. And that's what's hilarious, right? And, you try to talk to him. You try to tell him, calm him down. Hey, this is not what he was talking about. It's about, read the rest of it. Context, people. Come on, reading comprehension.
No, you're asking for too much in this community. You're asking for too much there.
Oh my gosh, way too much.
I just put me. I'm just capturing all the receipts of all these Xbox is going third party shit. I'm just capturing all of them, and I didn't even realize that a couple of hours later, this article would come out and it would completely them in the ass. So it's quite funny, but it does show there's a communication problem. Microsoft generally, get Tim or whoever out there, there needs to be thinking of they got to be careful with the way
communication problem. It's a listening problem. It's a comprehension problem. Like
it's a stupid problem, is what it is.
It's a lot of people out there not understanding what they're listening to. I mean, they're sitting there listening, blah 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 blah. PlayStation, PlayStation, third party, and they ran with it. Like it was just dumb. It was really ignorant.
Eventually,
to be honest, I will just come out and say, because I don't have a problem with saying this, but I feel like Tim Stewart is one of those guys that wants to see these games go everywhere. I really do. Yep. Because we've seen him in interviews say these games are going everywhere. And we're like, wait, what? You PlayStation guys have picked up on that. Yeah. So
Phil has to clean it up.
So I believe he's a lot like Terry Myerson in a way. It's not so good.
Oh, good old Terry Myerson. I got endless content on how the Xbox fan, and then back in the day, Fonzarelli himself used to talk against the whole Terry Myerson bibble babble. I find it interesting that now he's relying on the same thing that he used to talk against. And Fonzarelli, I love you, brother, but everybody, friend or foe, you're gonna get this work, man. Because I put this out here as a tweet in response to all this craziness that's out here on the internet. I said the gaming content creator space is a joke. There's no more accountability. And this is coming from someone who has been less than perfect on my own assumptions. But I faced the people and owned it. It's all about clicks and grifting now. Very few options for fact-based content. Like, I've seen none of these people that adamantly insulted people's intelligence like you just saw, when it was clear what they were talking about. The actions talk about that. The CFO is someone that can negotiate and try to convince, but he doesn't have any leverage over the CEO. Amy Hood is another one who's pointing towards not creating golden toilets when it comes to xCloud and other things, right? There's plenty of people in the Microsoft ecosystem at the top brass who said it doesn't make sense to do what Phil Spencer wants to do because he doesn't know how to do it properly. We listened to him with Bethesda and it failed miserably. Redfall was embarrassing. Starfield's lack of longevity is embarrassing and disheartening. But they want to talk about fucking Terry Myerson. Terry Myerson was let go in 2018. What are we doing? There is a problem with the Xbox brass as far as it comes to the content creator community. They were trying to fleece you. They were trying to pilfer you because, like, me and Porter Rock breaks it down perfectly. And we talked about it in a little snippet too. The YouTube algorithm just was aligned with this because the Xbox community was out for blood. They really thought that with the Series X, with the Series S, in Game Pass, that they would really duplicate the 360 era. They thought that they would probably do better than the 360. And so they were gearing up. And you started seeing pro Xbox podcasts go from just 200 viewers. Like, again, I'm not trying to make it seem like we're huge. We're not. We're a small channel because we don't sit there and just wave flags brainlessly for any platform. You know what I'm saying? So we are. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So Xbox creators saw the groundswell of support where we started seeing these Xbox podcasts go from like a couple hundred viewers to now they got over 1,000 viewers. Just because that like Porter Rock said, it became, and Porter Rock and King Thrash to both of their credits said, it became more about the competitiveness and the adversarial nature that people looked at PlayStation than it did to them being critical of the product. And this is why I can't relate to these current Xbox gamers, because I remember a period of time when Xbox was like, they were fucking around. They were fucking around twice during the 360 era. They were fucking around during the middle of the 360 era, and then they definitely fucked around the last 2 years with Kinect 1.0. But when they were fucking around the first time, I remember Uncharted 2 had just hit E3, and it blew my mind. Like I saw, now granted, when I got it, it wasn't as, in my opinion, it wasn't as great as when I saw it on E3. But I remember me and my brother was watching E3. We were sitting we did like a conference call. We was watching it together and just talking back and forth, because prior he had just moved down south. I had just moved into my condo, and we watched previous E3s together. So we're sitting there just watching quote unquote E3 together the best way that we could back in the, whenever the year that was. And we're both watching Uncharted 2, and we're looking at Uncharted 2 and we're like, oh my God, this could possibly be the best game ever made. Like, this is looking awesome. And I was like, bro, I'm going to have to get me a PlayStation 3. And he's like, yeah, I got to get me a PlayStation 3 too, right? So I had went and bought me one because I wanted to play Uncharted 1, to get used to Uncharted 2, because I didn't play Uncharted 1. So my brother and I thought that, and I was a big Xbox fan at the time. I used to be on all the forums, trolling people, talking shit on PlayStation. You guys lost your lead and you lost it significantly, right? I remember that day seeing Uncharted 2 at E3, going on all the Xbox forums for a week. I actually got banned from the GameSpot forum after I did this. I went on the Xbox forums for a week and I tore Xbox a new one. I said, where the fuck are your games? How the fuck are you? I was like, PlayStation is going to creep right back in here and snatch the lead from you significantly, and they're gonna kick your ass like they did. Like we were in the, like, where were your fucking games? How dare you let them come out with something like Uncharted 2 and you have nothing to respond with? Like, we were going ape shit. Me and my brother were talking about, like, look, if this is the game that Xbox is gonna play, where they're gonna continue to not have shit, and PlayStation is going to be dropping shit like this, I'll gladly get me a PlayStation. I'll gladly I'll gladly switch over to play. We were talking about that then, just over one game. See, there wasn't no Twitter back then. There wasn't these Xbox allegiances. There wasn't the pony bot. There was just the consumer, your fandom, but the expectation that you needed to consistently provide for me, the consumer. All this fluff and all this other shit that was happening on the internet, it didn't exist. And gaming was so much better because of it. We were doing all that just over one game. In today's climate, they told you that 4K 60 was going to be their standard. They've backtracked from that fully. Now they're telling you 30 frames per second is more cinematic and better for you for certain games. They told you that, Starfield was the game of the generation, and it fizzled out after a month or so. They told you that, they're buying up these companies for exclusive content for Game Pass, and now shit is going everywhere. Like Doom, the next Doom is dropping day and date on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, when is it? I can't relate to you guys, and you have to get this work because you're cut of a different cloth. And some of these people are just plain fleecing and grifting you because, again, just like I said with Paris, I got to say about Fawns. If you present this to the Fawns from 10 years ago, the Fawns I was hating on and the Fawns I got cool with behind the scenes because I realized, hey, look, he was just telling the truth and being authentic. That Fawns. If that Fawns from 10 years ago is here now, he's saying, oh no, they're going full third party. They're going full third party, and there's nothing that you can say to convince me otherwise. Hold on one second. Okay, so when we looked at games in totality, we said to ourselves, you got to always be on an upward trajectory. We understand that, some periods in time may be flat, but if you're into a flat period, you got to at least show me something coming down the pike to where, you're potentially going to be going up again. We didn't sit here and make defenses for it. The fight with another piece of plastic was not bigger than what you were giving me. These current fanboys or the fight with this other box is bigger than what they're getting. I want to show you guys one more thing. And this is why we tell you got to be careful with who you're listening to, because at some point in time, look, the grifters are going to grift. At some point in time, it's about what you're going to listen to and what you're going to believe. Here goes one more thing that happened over the course. This is all happening over the course of a week, where misinformation was put out there. So let's do this. Where is my soundboard? Okay, let's do that. And let's now play this. This is Iron Lord's podcast, where first Lord Cognito is talking about how he's heard that Xbox cannot market Call of Duty on Game Pass. Paris follows up in a way that makes it seem like that he got confirmation firsthand from someone by Treyarch about this. That's the way it's worded, right? We'll talk about the ridiculousness of all that, because the problem is that the way that it's being worded, it's like Sony, through some type of regulatory means, is stopping them from doing this. Now, look, I don't know if Xbox is trying to placate to Sony for some reason. Maybe they struck a deal with them. Hey, look, we want to put even more games. Hey, look, if we could put even more games on PlayStation, we won't even market Call of Duty on Game Pass. We won't even do that. They sound like bro from Menace to Society. Please, man, I got these cheeseburgers. Like they could be doing this. Could be that scenario. I'll suck yo. They could simply be doing this to placate to PlayStation. That's not PlayStation's fault. That's still Xbox. That's Xbox trying to placate to the PlayStation market. So I don't know, but the theory is, the thesis that's being thrown out here is that PlayStation went and whined to somebody about this, and they got some regulatory involvement in regards to this, and therefore that's why Xbox can't do it. Xbox can't. They want to, but they can't do it because Sony blocked them from doing it. That's the theme that's being put out here. I want you to listen to how this was posed and this was stated. Want you to see the response, and then we're going to talk about it on the back end. So let's go.
Record. They don't. You make a fantastic point. Off the record,
think about their
I have heard. I just want to interject this quickly, and I got you. I heard off the record they literally can't do that part with Call of Duty. I actually heard that off the record.
I can add context to that. By the way.
Can you please do? Yeah.
So, and I'm going to shamelessly plug. I did a preview on IGN for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. You should go check it out.
Go check that out.
It
was very good,
by the way.
Yeah. The best preview on the internet.
Yes, it was. There you go. But while I was at Treyarch,
that voice, I saw the comments.
No, but while I was at Treyarch, and again, these were off the record conversations.
Yes.
The people involved shall remain nameless.
Okay.
You are 100% correct, sir. They cannot use that in their current marketing, because we were having a conversation about Game Pass.
Yeah, I was surprised.
And the impact that they think it's going to have on Black Ops 6. Some people at Treyarch think it is going to be a big deal on Game Pass, but you're not going to see that big marketing push that you would expect, where Game Pass has uttered every other word. Due to various reasons. That's what I was told.
That's crazy.
Okay. So let's talk about this now on the back end, and the ridiculousness of what people are trying to place on this. Now, Paris, shout out to GPT Gaming News. They first put this clip out here. They said, according to both Lord Cognito and Paris, they both heard off the record that Xbox isn't allowed to do a big marketing push for Call of Duty Black Ops. So the key phrase here is Xbox isn't allowed, right? Why isn't Xbox allowed to? And again, when you see that, there's no context put to it, but what's being implied is Sony came in and blocked their ability to do that. And so that leads back to CMA, FTC, all this other stuff. This is why that whole part is ridiculous. I want to put this out there first, and then we'll go by Pierce's response, which was contradictory. That's ridiculous because in order to imply that Sony came out and blocked them using some regulatory means would mean that Sony has leverage with the CMA in regards to something like that. If you believe something like that, you clearly don't understand business. Here's why. Sony originally tried to block the ABK deal because they said that the ABK deal would be harmful to their business, and then the harm to their business would translate to their gamers. Sony showed how they would lose money, how they wouldn't be able to, again, work with Activision Blizzard in order to show that, show them and for them to create the next DualSense controller and, various other things. Where the CMA said, okay, you may have shown where this may damage your business, but it's not going to damage gamers. Why? Because they agreed to 10-year deals. So Call of Duty is still going to be on Call of Duty, and they've stated in some type of binding form, I guess, that it would remain the same. So if it's going to remain the same, if it's going to be there for at least 10 years, then you have no claim. Our concern is not your business. Our concern is harm to the gamers. So you haven't proven that. CMA blocked the deal, and this is what a lot of people forget. EU added they didn't block the deal, but they added stipulations over cloud gaming. Why did both of those entities do that? Because they felt like that Microsoft getting ABK and them potentially not making guarantees to other cloud platforms on exclusivity or access would harm other consumers or cloud consumers. So when you think about it, the biggest marketplace out there in AAA gaming, they told them, no, we don't care about your financials. We only care about your consumers, and your consumers are not doing any harm. You don't have a case. There's a nothing burger here. But these little small percentages of cloud gamers, they blocked the deal or asked for reconciliation on that because it harmed consumers. So CMA, EU, whoever it is, their regulatory concern isn't a business. I know you've heard Pork Up and you've heard some of these other dummies out here make those claims. They don't know what the hell they're talking about because they're idiots. The regulatory bodies are only concerned with harm to the consumer. So if they're going to tell the biggest marketplace in AAA gaming no, but then placate to the smallest marketplace in gaming, which is cloud gaming, that doubles down on that fact. So, if that is the case, what leverage does PlayStation have to go to the CMA or go to anybody and block it from a regulatory standpoint? There is none. Why? Because Call of Duty being on Game Pass does nothing to a PlayStation gamer. A PlayStation gamer isn't going to say, oh, you know what? I got two options here. I can either keep my PlayStation, keep my games, and just buy Call of Duty like I normally would, or I can sell all my shit, abandon all my friends on PlayStation, go pick up an Xbox, and pay $20 a month for Call of Duty, which is going to equate to $240 a year, when I could have just paid $70 lifetime. In no fathomable shape, form, or fashion of consumer practices, there's anybody whose brain is attached to the temporal nodes, are they going to do anything like that? The CMA knows that, EU knows that. So why would the CMA or EU budge because PlayStation said, oh, well, we don't like the fact that Call of Duty is going to be advertised on Xbox because some of our PlayStation people might go over there. So is it still going to be available on PlayStation? Yeah. Is it still going to be the same exact game? Yeah. Bye. So there is no incentive for the CMA or the EU or anybody to quote unquote give PlayStation the authority to block something like this. If PlayStation is involved or they do have some type of leverage on there not being marketing done. It's not because Xbox wants to do the marketing. They wanted to do it, and somehow PlayStation at the final hour was able to block them from doing it. It's because they gave a concession. They would have conceived. There would have been a concession made where Xbox would have approached PlayStation. Advertisement of Game Pass would have been put on the table. And Xbox would have agreed. Not that they were blocked, they would have agreed. Here's what I think the likely scenario is, based upon all the evidence that we've seen. Xbox is simply saying, look, we want to maintain activity on Game Pass, and Call of Duty will help bring back our subscribers that are kind of lapped off in activity, because I truly believe that Xbox is in game because they're not going to reach 100 million users with Game Pass they're not going to do it between Game Pass and PC or whatever as they hoped. They're not going to see the portion that they originally thought they were going to see. So I believe that they're going to go the route of Netflix and some of these other subscription services, which have their lower tiers or have certain tiers run ads. You don't become a plausible ad running machine where companies will say, okay, yeah, we'll run our ads on your service and we'll pay you for it. That doesn't happen unless you have continuous activity. So I think Microsoft is now just in the game of trying to walk a tightrope where they're trying to make sure that there's enough activity on Game Pass to entice ad runners, but not do it in a way that's going to hurt a la carte sales. For all intents and purposes, that's what it appears that they're trying to do. And if that is the case, Satya Nadella, Amy Hood, and everybody else is like, look, we're going to put this on Game Pass so the people that play Xbox Game Pass or PC Game Pass, they spur more activity, because Call of Duty is going to be huge if you're a Game Pass subscriber. There's no doubt about it. There's no denying that. Call of Duty for a Game Pass subscriber is going to be huge. It might even spur some momentary people to try it. But here's the problem. It's the latter part that's the problem. Call of Duty has a demographic. I know because I'm part of the demo, where we may see the game, we may see some advertisement for it, some marketing, and we say, oh, that looks badass. This year might be the year that's for me. Holy shit. So we'll go pick up Call of Duty, we'll buy it at full price, and we'll play it, and then we'll be like, oh man, they beat me over the head with a cash register. This is not for me. Okay, all right, let me go back to Dragon's Dogma or something else, right? But I fully committed to $70, so that's it. But that's just the nature of gaming. But if I create a dynamic to where instead of those people committing the full $70, now all they got to do is pay $20 and try it and discover this one ain't for you, you've lost out on $50. That's the same scenario people ran in, the same scenario, not people, Xbox ran in with Starfield. People playing Starfield realized, oh my God, this is not for me, and they bounced. And they only bounced having to fork up $10. So all that demographic that may look at annual editions of Call of Duty, they feel left out because everybody's playing Call of Duty, and they're like, well, maybe this one is for me. And they go and buy it, only to find out, nah, it ain't for me. Oh, well, I might trade this in later, but you've already committed your $70. Now, all I got to do is commit $20. And that's if I don't find a heavy discount on Game Pass, because they're still out there. Even Game Pass Ultimate, they're still out there. Fuck, I can right now I can find I can get a month of PC Game Pass for $6. So in order for me to try Call of Duty, the next one, you know, all I need is $6 to try it. Right? Microsoft does not want to run into the same financial pit that they ran into with Starfield. Cold Blood, Porter Rock, and I talked about this in Porter Rock's interview. Do you know there was what did they predicted that if they put Starfield on PlayStation at launch, that they were going to get X amount of sales and X amount of money, and that's gone. You put Starfield on there now. Now I heard Doc Dork talking about this. I shout out to Doc, but I totally disagree with him on this. You put, after all the bad accolades, after the serious drop down in user playability, I think Starfield will do well, but it's not going to do nowhere near as well as it would have done if it would have launched day and date on PlayStation. I think it'll do numbers too, because PlayStation gamers play games. But is it going to do, you know, what it could have done if they would have had it just full multiplat? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will you see bumps like how you saw with Sea of Thieves? Yeah, you might see a bump, yeah. But just like what you see with Sea of Thieves, and that's a full games as a service title. Is it still up there in the top 5 like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Starfield will suffer the same fate. It'll get up there. It'll do some good numbers, but that's a lot of revenue and money that Microsoft missed out on because they went fully exclusive with Starfield. They missed out on a lot. They don't want to run into that again. So even though it's still going to be multiplat, they still want the Xbox people. Because ain't nobody selling their PlayStation to go pay $240 a year for Call of Duty. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. But what they don't want to do is they don't want the PlayStation people, the Xbox people, who generally would still buy the game even if they don't and realize, oh, I don't like it. They don't want them to just walk away just spending $20. They want them to commit that full $70. So to me, if I was a betting man, I'm putting my money on, this is a Satya, Amy Hood, Tim Stewart thing, where they're like, no, you cannot advertise this heavily on Game Pass because we don't want the people that are not even aware of this to fork up 20 instead of forking up the full 70. That's what's going on here. It has nothing to do with nothing to do at all with Sony going to a regulator and blocking it. That's absurd. That being said, I think the bigger point here is that all of these rumors and all of this backlash is just crazy. It is so like lashing out. It's like I don't know what to make of it. Cold Blood, I know I've been babbling for on and on and on and on. What do you think of all this stuff? The fake PlayStation blocked us at the final hour type rumors, the the PlayStation game sell worse than Xbox. Why do you think Xbox gamers are? I mean, I know they've always talked crazy in the most rabid form when it comes from the most rabid wing of them, but they seem to be talking crazier now. What do you think that's about?
Nick?
Yeah.
That is pure unadulterated panic. They know their fucking favorite box is fucking dying and their fan base is vanishing. So now is the time to be an absolute fucking dumbass. To go as crazy as possible, telling people Xbox games sell better than PlayStation. That is exactly what the fuck is happening here. Like, bro, this Huggy dude,
yeah,
he is gonna go down as one of the biggest clowns this generation, bro. Fucking hell.
Oh shit, yeah.
And Paris is gonna go down with him on this shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
The only one that might save him, might save himself in the same generation he became a clown, is Destiny.
Destin. You think Destin will be able to do it?
He might be the only one that is gonna save himself from absolute embarrassment.
He said a lot of goofy shit too, but to your point,
absolutely,
it hasn't stuck like everyone else.
If he can wake up from this bullshit, so can all these other idiots.
I don't think he ever believed it though, Cold Blood. I don't think he believed. Like, if you listen to Destin last gen, I think he was just grifting like all these other ones. I don't think he believed this stuff. Now, there's people like Hargeet.
No,
Hargeet believes this.
Look, 2020, I think a lot of them believe that shit. 2021, they still had that belief, but had some doubts. But when 2022 came around, bro, and they had absolutely no game launching, oh boy, that panic set in, bro. And 2023 was not kind to them.
Yeah.
It was not kind to them. Yes, you had your Redfall and your Starfield. But fucking hell, the amount of clownery everyone did to you.
Yeah.
I mean, your biggest game ever, Starfield.
Oh my god.
Could not even break the 10 million sales, bro.
Crazy.
Like, since when is a Bethesda software game not selling 10 million?
I know. That's wild, bro. Wild.
I can tell you since when. Since Game Pass.
Yeah, since Game Pass.
It's that easy. Since Game Pass and not being on PlayStation. With the worst fucking combination you can have for a game that has to sell. Actually.
Yeah. Here's what I think though. I think some of these people like Destin, who I don't think they believed it at all. I think they just thought, because they recognize Xbox's game. They felt like that. They never believed it. They never believed that Xbox would be on top. They knew Xbox would not even be competitive, but they felt like that Xbox would always do enough to say shit on Twitter to make it seem like that they would, and to fool their consumer base. They never, I don't think they imagined that Xbox would just say, fuck it, we don't care anymore what y'all think, we're just doing this. I think they figured that Xbox would continue to go through the generation, even if the numbers were bad. Like, if Xbox was still fighting and Phil was still throwing lies out there regularly and they were trying to make things look different, Destin would be singing a different tune. Because he's still giving him red meat. But now that Xbox is out here doing this shit and they're like, we don't care what y'all think, and they're not even responding, they're not even talking about it. Like, they just went out and said you don't need a console. Phil came out and said all we're guaranteeing you on Xbox is you'll always get the game day and date because of Game Pass, and you'll get cross entitlements. That's only, he made one other stupid guarantee, but that's it. It's the only guarantee that he made them. You don't get no other guarantee than that if you play games on their hardware. I think that they knew that Xbox would continuously lie and deceive, and that its most rabid fan base would believe the lies and deceit and would pass it down to other gamers, and that would be just enough to keep lining their pockets, keep lining their super chats, keep lining their ad revenue. And now that Xbox isn't doing that, now there's no incentive for them to keep the lie up themselves. I think they were just all implicit on the lie because they thought the lie would keep going because the lie is lucrative. And now that Xbox giving up on the lie, so to speak, they're just doing it, not saying anything about it. But they're not trying to damage control it either. They're just like, fuck it. Well, we have no other choice because we're going to be evaporated if we don't come clean on this. So now that, they're doing this and they're doing that. But even as you saw in that clip that I just played of Paris, where he gives this innuendo that he talked to somebody from Treyarch, and someone from Treyarch gave him that. That's the innuendo that he's putting out there, only for it to find out that nobody at Treyarch told him anything, and that it was only a rumor, and he had to go on Twitter and admit that it was a rumor and destroy his credibility even further. Just proves that they can't help themselves. Wherever they feel like they can get in on the lie and benefit on it and, get some kickback from it because it was so lucrative for them. So lucrative. This generation was for the first 3 years of this generation was super lucrative for these creators. Oh my God. And look at RDX. RDX is gone. They're doing reunions and shit. RDX is gone. Why is RDX gone? Tim was the first one to jump ship. Now, granted, my brother Tim had some others. He had some.
Look, no. RDX is gone because Dita is not there anymore.
Yeah, but there is no RDX copycat. Like, those guys can get together and create an RDX copycat if they wanted to on somebody's channel. Why aren't they doing it?
Because they don't have a dealer.
No, they got a cold. Yes. They got a cold.
Yeah, of course, but bruh, they need a real leader, not another fucking idiot.
I have no ties to Diller. I don't give a fuck about Diller. Diller is that classification doesn't fit Dealer. Let me put this out there in the ethos for those of you that don't realize this. Alex, oh no, it's Alex, a long time ago, debated Dealer against Xbox, mind you. That's why I said a lot of these people that are doing certain content today, they're only doing it out of the gullibility of the community. It was a big thing for Alex and Dealer to debate. And Alex destroyed him with bullshit that he gets ripped on about currently. He destroyed Dealer. He ripped off his head and shit down his neck. As an Xbot myself, it was painful for me to listen to it. He decimated Dealer. Defiled him, whatever. Any of them could have picked up the reins and did RDX 2.0 if they wanted to. All it is simply getting a bunch of Xbox nut glazers in a room and glazing Xbox nuts. Why aren't they doing that anymore? Hold on one second. You don't. Any of them could have picked up the reins and picked up from Dealer. Dealer wasn't this all-seeing, arguing Xbox eye that like Fonzarelli. Fonz could have very easily.
Wait, Mark. Was the RDX reunion on Dealer's channel or on someone?
No, that was on Fonz's channel.
Well, there you have it. Who wants to start from the beginning again?
What do you mean?
But start from fucking zero, all over again.
What do you mean by start from zero?
Subscriber wise and shit.
Oh, well, I mean, look. Here's how these podcasts are run. So it doesn't even matter starting, you know, the subscribers mean nothing. What these dudes do is they get together and they'll split the super chat and any membership revenue, right? So if they're bringing back RDX again, it's better than what, because they're not getting anything now. You know, that RDX money is gone. It's dried up. They're not getting anything now. So
Dilla does.
No, Diller's, you know, I mean, if the members are still there, he is. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. These other dudes are sitting there and they're not getting anything. So it would only make sense. Again, we got to look at this from a perspective that, like, look at D-Batch right now. I mean, D-Batch was a glazer. He believed a lot of the shit, and he's woken up. A lot of things that were being said were not even believed. So they're not getting that. They're getting nothing split with them anymore. So why wouldn't you get together and just redo RDX all over again? I mean, there are people that have high numbers on podcasts that sound more buffoonish than RDX. You're just placating to a gullible audience. So what's stopping you from getting together, doing RDX 2.0, and then y'all just resume? Y'all call it something else. Fonz DX, FDX, I don't, you know, I don't know what y'all call it, but you get together and you market it as RDX is, you know, we're getting back together until Diller comes back or whatever. And you got pretty much the same people on there except Diller. That would still hit in the Xbox community. That would even hit today with all the stuff that's happening. You know why they're not doing it? They're not doing it because they know the amount of Xbox nut glazing that they would have to continue would damage their reputation, because they can no longer trust Xbox to damage control anymore. All RDX was
But that's what I said.
Was it? But,
that's
but
exactly what I said.
But
they don't have a leader.
Dealer. Yeah, but no, it's not that they don't want to do it. Like, even if, regardless of why Dealer's not around, they're not continuing. They're not. Whether Diller had to step away for some reason or not, the RDX would have come to an end. It would have come to an end anyway. It has nothing to do with whatever reasons Diller isn't there. Tim Dog left, and it just didn't make any sense anymore, because these people now got to think about their credibility. They now got to start backtracking and think about their credibility. That's why RDX isn't around anymore. It ain't got nothing to do with, I mean, well, not me saying it ain't got nothing to do with Diller is not accurate. Diller is not why the people from RDX aren't doing the podcast anymore. They found out what's happening with Xbox, and they're like, this is not going to end well very soon. So let's stay on our own separate corners. Like, for instance, even Colt now, when he's on the podcast with Mag, he don't stop Mag. Mag does his own thing. Why? Because if you were to try to stop Mag, like I'm going to be honest with you. And again, nothing to get, this doesn't speak of Mag, this speaks of Colt. I'm saying this in regards to Colt. If Mag is talking the way that he does a year or two ago, he's not on the show. That's not because Mag doesn't deserve to be on the show. I truly don't think, and Mag can chime in if he's still listening and tell me that I'm full of bullshit, you know, whatever. I don't think Mag is on the show anymore. If Mag is talking like this 2 years ago or a year ago, he's not on the show. But right now, Xbox fans in entirety, like, there's some that still want to hear it, the most rabid ones, But there are Xbox fans that do not want to deal with this. We're going to excuse everything Xbox does. They don't want to hear it. And that's why you got to let Mag, you got to let Mag talk about Xbox the way he wants to talk about Xbox. Whatever he thinks is good, he's going to bring up the good. Whatever he thinks is bad, he's going to bring up the bad. And you got to just let him go. A year ago or 2 years ago, had you said, "Nah, man, you can't do that," and then you throw Mag off the show, and then then you're getting cheers and shit. Yeah, Colt. Yeah, you can't do that now. You can't, because there's just too much shit happening. So you got Colt doing his thing on X and C. You got Fawns doing his thing on Gaming Live or whatever it's called. You got D Batch out here. He's running amok. He's going wild. It's like a fucking bear with rabies out this motherfucker. You got Tim Dog. Oh shit, Tim Dog done totally flipped. You even had Stalker come on the thing that they did with Fawns and say, "Yeah, I've always said that Xbox won't be able to compete." I want that clip. Where's that clip? Xbox won't be able to compete. Where's the clip? They're all talking in ways that they did not talk on RDX. They're talking like, oh my gosh, the gravy train has come to an end. And when I say that, I'm not saying that about my brother Tim. Tim has his own, like Porter Rock indicated. That's why y'all got to hear that interview. Porter Rock indicated that Tim got his own personal reasons. It was never about money with Tim. I don't even think Tim was getting anything. Tim, it was way more personal. And I think Porter Rock breaks it down perfectly. But that's why RDX not only is not RDX not together, but it's not going for those reasons. It just doesn't make any sense for each of those individuals' brands right now. Because now they're like, they'll refer back to it because it was kind of like a claim to fame for them. But in 2024 right now, you can't come with the same formula. Because it's going to hurt you too bad in the long run, and they know that. So, all right, damn, we almost went 3 hours on one topic. Well, I did. Play myself. Cold Blood. You want to talk about Black Myth Wukong real quick? What are your thoughts on, let's look at his current score. It's a current score of 82. We'll jump to PlayStation last. The current, because the PlayStation story is really short. It's a current score of 82. We've seen some examples of bad faith reviews, like for instance, Windows Central gave Black Myth Wukong a 7. We're seeing like the bigger publications land around 8. They gave them a 7, but meanwhile, they gave fucking Redfall a 6. Like, I don't care if I never play this game. I will say, full chested, there is no way that Black Myth Wukong is only 1 point higher than Redfall. So there are bad faith scores out there like that, and it doesn't surprise me that it's coming from Windows Central. But if you want to take a look real quick and look at some of these review scores out here. Gaming Bolt gave it 100. Cognected gave it a 93. Hardcore Gamer, Twinfinite gave it 90. PC Gamer gave it 87. WCCF Tech gave it 85. Digital Trends gave it an 80. Games Radar gave it an 80. IGN gave it an 80. I think this is where it's ultimately going to land, 80 or 81 in my opinion. The Gamer gave it an 80. GameSpot gave it an 80. Atomics gave it an 80. PC Mag gave it an 80. That's why I said Dexerto gave it an 80. Like everybody's And here goes Windows Central with their 7. Tech Radar gave it a 7. Game Rant gave it a 60, but they gave
bro. Oh my god. Look at the Screen Rant review and look at the cons. Fucking hell.
Oh yeah.
Look at the cons of this fucking review.
Wasn't it that it wasn't inclusive or some shit? Was that Screen Rant that did that? Said it wasn't inclusive?
Yep. Lacking in inclusivity and diversity. What?
Yeah, that's stupid.
And giving it a 6 out of 10.
This is a representation of here, I'll put it like this. This is a representation of Chinese folklore, the Monkey King. Sometimes when you go into certain folklore and you're trying to represent a game, in the past, that is going to represent a certain specific group of people, and it's going to stick to that group of people. I could be wrong here, but remember the guy that made the game, I think he was African, and he made the game. It didn't do well, and he was complaining because, you know, people were saying that he was tied to Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever. But he made a game based upon his heritage, right? I'm pretty sure there was nothing but Africans in that game, right? No, nobody complained. Because nobody should. It was a representation of something cultural that focused on a specific group of people. Nobody complained. So again, if a Chinese developer is trying to introduce to gamers the folklore of the Chinese, what do you call it? Monkey King. What are we expecting to see? We're expecting to see an American on a skateboard eating some pizza? Like, what are we talking about here? This is Chinese folklore. I just spoke about a game with African folklore. Yeah, there are certain entities, and King Thrash, I think, did a great job in talking. Again, that's why y'all got to see these interviews. King Thrash did a great job talking about these political agendas that are thrown in video games, and even as African Americans, we don't like it. You know, and there's a variety of things to not like about it. And I got fingers to point at all sides of the arguments because I think everybody's doing it wrong. But yeah, in this particular case, what diversity were you looking for? This is Chinese folklore. They're trying to introduce it to game. What the fuck are you? But before sitting there expecting to see an American with ripped jeans on a skateboard, you know, eating pizza, before you started expecting to see that in frickin' Wukong, maybe understand the folklore first. Maybe understand the folklore. Sometimes I just hate the West, man. I'm sorry. I hate the West, and I hate the West's approach to stuff. I do. I really do. But that's a whole nother podcast. I'll leave that one alone. Yeah, Tales of Consiera, they complained about Final Fantasy 16 being all. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, well, Final Fantasy 16, but even that, but still, whatever. Final Fantasy 16 wasn't centered around folklore, whatever. But still, if that is the developer's artistic vision, then fine. But now we're talking about folklore. We're talking about specific cultural things based upon specific cultural storylines and stuff like that. It's going to represent a certain group of people.
Boss. Look on Twitter. Apparently, this is the review of a Screen Rant.
Yeah, I saw their dog shit on. Oh shit. yeah.
Does that review make sense though?
Yeah, no, yeah. I and funny enough, dude, when I saw the review, that's the image that popped in my head and shit. It was like that exact photo and shit. You know what I mean? Like that image is like it's square well, like, oh yeah. And I hate to say that, but this is getting out of control. Like I think people are doing certain things politically because they want to belong and they want to be activists. They want to just be false activists for no apparent reason. So you can't tell Chinese folklore anymore. And this is why I say, regardless of your political leaning, whether it's liberal, conservative, left, right, Republican, Democrat, whatever it is, you should, regardless of where this is happening, you should always argue against it. Because just like I mentioned, what if somebody says, oh, how come there's only Africans in tales of Kinzir? Well, it's an African folklore. You see, it always comes back to bite you when you don't evenly address things. This is Chinese folklore. Who was you expecting to see in this?
Gay monkeys.
What were you expecting? Let people tell the stories that they want to. I agree with that. And then if you want to tell a story about a certain way, then go ahead and do it. But I'm not into like this. This is even different than Final Fantasy 16, which I don't have a problem with at all, because this is based upon folklore. Is nothing sacred anymore? Anywho, Cold Blood, what is your biggest concern with Black Myth Wukong?
PlayStation version.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because there's literally not a single review out for this game on PlayStation.
Yeah. Yep.
Like everyone, even fucking Push Square, only got a PC code. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
If the console version is not ready, even on PlayStation, bro, delay it. Better delay that motherfucker right now.
Yep.
I'm being serious. I don't give a shit if the bot's gonna have a fucking field day. Nah, I care about the game. If the game is not finished on PlayStation 2, but you're forcing it out so we can be the beta testers for your ass, nah, bro. I'm gonna be pissed.
Here's some more food for thought to echo your sentiments. Someone put this tweet out here. They said Black Myth Wukong is 82 on Metacritic, no PlayStation 5 reviews. PC performance is apparently not great, so PlayStation 5 is looking concerning. I would heavily advise PlayStation 5 users to refrain from pre-ordering until PlayStation 5 impressions are available. What do you think about that tweet, Cold Blood?
Well, sensible thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just too hyped for this game, so I want to play it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you can wait.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah, that is concerning. Like I'm getting it on PC. I'm definitely getting it on PC.
Of course, you want to play it on GeForce now.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be day one on GeForce now?
Yeah, it's gonna be day one. Yeah. And plus, I'm getting it at a cheaper price on PC too. Like I can get it for $52.
You got confirmation for that, yeah?
Yeah. Yep. It's day one on. Yeah. That was in the circular that they sent out like a couple weeks ago. I actually did a video on it. That Black Myth Wukong is coming out day one on GeForce now. So yeah, and you can go to Fanatical right now go get it for $54. There's somewhere else where you can get it for $52. Like there's great prices for the game right now. All right. Yeah. Very interesting stuff. I'm excited for it. Can't wait to play it. I'm gonna get it over the weekend from one of those places. So we'll see. All right. Last but final story here. Interesting story. Kind because I didn't even realize this until we came across it. Question: Do we think that PlayStation is going to be dead in 2025? The reason why I ask this is because Embracer CEO says PC is one of the best growth drivers. Consoles will have a more muted year. Now we kind of expect that from Xbox. The Nintendo Switch, it can be expected too, because they're saying the Switch 2.0 ain't coming out for a while. But here's the story. It says, this is kind of surprising take from a publisher, even in regards to PlayStation. Today, Embracer hosted his financial conference call, and CEO Lars Wingfors talked about the outlook of the gaming market broken down by platforms. During the live stream presentation, Wingfors mentioned that PC market will be one of the best growth drivers this year and goes from strength to strength. On the other hand, the company expects consoles to have a more muted year. He says specifically, when I look at business, really PC goes from strength to strength. We're expecting PC to be one of the best growth drivers in the market this year, but we also expect mobile to grow as well as tabletop. Consoles will have a more muted year, but still it's a fantastic console market if you bring all the right content to consumers. And they continue to say, incidentally, Wingfors' opinion on the PC market echoes what was mentioned by Take-Two Strauss Zelnick a few days ago. The executive mentioned that 4 years ago, PC wasn't anywhere near as meaningful as it is today for console-type releases, but now it's a big growth market. So my question for you, Cold Blood, in lieu of this, specifically with PlayStation, because again, Xbox is just going the way of the dodo bird, and I don't think Switch is going to see growth again until Switch 2 comes out. What do you think about PlayStation 2025? I mean, will it be a slow year in your opinion? And will PlayStation themselves try to be even more aggressive on PC based upon what they're saying about PC in this article? What do you think?
So, first of all, how the fuck does Embracer know that next year's gonna be bad?
That is a great question.
Besides their own shit.
That is a great question. Yeah. Yep.
Your shit is gonna be dry if you keep on selling your fucking studios that you bought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Y'all been only producing flops after flops, and tell us that PlayStation is going to have a shit year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're the fucking experts now, huh? I don't get it. Like, why? Since when does Embracer know the fucking plans of PlayStation?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. I mean, I do know that PlayStation at times will approach different game makers and say, "Look, you're going to want to put your games on our platform because here's what we're making, and here's what we're going to be putting out." And therefore, people are going to be buying PlayStations left and right, and so PlayStation is going to be huge. I know they've done that because I've had developers that I've talked to tell me that. But I think that may have been a former strategy. The same developers are not saying that PlayStation is doing that anymore. And when you look at all companies, including Embracer, like, I don't see where they have any product or any IP where PlayStation is like, oh, yeah, we got to make sure Embracer's on board. Like, they could be avoiding Embracer, and Embracer just isn't invited to anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Embracer is in a place of no about that across the board. Like, we can see the writing on the wall about Xbox. We can see what's going on with Nintendo and what's going to, jumpstart them again. But I don't think anybody knows what's going on with PlayStation, which that is a problem, but that could just be part of their strategy. And if they're basing, like, for instance, if they're basing their business off of the belief system that PlayStation is going to run flat. And then all of a sudden PlayStation comes out and they show a bunch of things to where they just didn't tell you about it. And your business is built around capitalizing off of PC, where it would have been better tuned if you would have tuned it more towards PlayStation. Then that speaks to the leadership. That's a reflection on them. And people are going to have to look at Embracer and say, I don't know if the right person is in charge. See, I wouldn't make statements like this. Like I would have stuck to what Strauss Zelnick simply said, which is, PC is becoming more lucrative. I wouldn't have sit there and shit it on consoles. And there could be a reason why Strauss didn't shit on consoles, because as the company that's in charge of Grand Theft Auto, they probably know something that PlayStation told them, but because PlayStation has no such partnerships with Embracer, they're not telling Embracer shit. So I just think that was stupid. But I just thought it was interesting nonetheless that Embracer of all people would come out and say that. I mean, he did say it's still going to be a great market, but I still think it was just too stupid. Because I'm not sure, unless they have the inside track and we're not aware. They have the inside track for some reason, but I don't know if Embracer does. I think Take-Two would have the inside track more. Strauss Zelnick speaks his mind all the time. We didn't hear that from Strauss. Strauss just simply said PC is way more lucrative than it used to be 4 years ago. So, all right, folks, that is it for today's show. I'm gonna go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Did nothing.
Oh, I thought you said something. My bad. Yeah, that's it for today's show, y'all. Wow, how long did we go? We went over 3 hours and 15 minutes, but we had a lot to cover today. We hope you appreciated the videos. That video that you saw earlier today is going to release tomorrow as a reminder that, hey, these interviews are out here. All you got to do is subscribe at the $3.99 level. That's all you got to do, and you'll get access to this and some. Tim Dogg's interview is Sunday at, hold on, let me confirm. Tim Dogg's interview is at 5 p.m. Yep, my brother Tim said 5. Well, he asked me 5 or 6, and I said, let's do 5. I think so. It's going to be at 5. So Tim Dogg is going to be here at 5 p.m. Sunday. Be here or be square. And members, you're in for a treat. Members, you are in for a treat. And if you're not a member, just hit that join button. Join at the middle tier, which is the Foamy Homie tier, and you'll get access to all the great goodness. Mag was here. Shout out to Mag. Thank you for coming through, Mag. Mag was here, and we broke through another interview. Mag is going to be here next Thursday, so we're going to talk to Mag, and we're just going to, talk about gaming, get his perspective. Be nostalgic about Xbox and some other stuff. He may have some other things that he wants to say. All right. With that said, I appreciate everybody.
Wait. What about J-Dub?
J-Dub? I haven't reached out to Jay yet.
You should.
Yeah, we'll see. We can reach out to Jay. But with that said, we appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming through. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.